French Club. All right, all right, all right. Massive Hammers, massive West Ham fans. We are
Everywhere we
massive
go,
everywhere we go.
massive.
All right, come on, Isaac.
Yeah.
Come on, give us a come on, you irons. Come on, go ahead.
Come on, you irons!
There you go. There you go. There you go. There's my 11-year-old. He's pumped and jacked. He's excited.
Useful shot, lad. Useful.
And, and he's what, going to bed or headed that way? Headed that way?
Well, my bedtime's at 8:30.
I know your bed. I know, but I'm not saying he's going to bed right now. I'm just saying, like,
What?
it's all right.
Hey,
let him give a shout.
All
out.
rules off
Go
tonight.
ahead.
Yeah,
Right,
Lee.
right.
Well, for a lot of reasons. Lee, where in New
Yes.
York are you?
I'm in Boston. I'm in
Oh,
Boston.
you lying little New York hammer.
What? No, I've never been to New York. I lived in New York like 25 years ago. So, why
You
do you
gotta
think I'm in
update
New
your
York?
profile because some of your online profiles say New York.
Good Lord, there's no way. I wasn't even on the internet back. Well, actually, I was. What? Are you sure about that? I said no. My
So,
Twitter profile says Chelmsford, Mass. I promise you, because that's right.
well, since you're in Boston,
Yes.
do the kids have the day off tomorrow? It's Good Friday.
Yeah, they do. They do. They have
Yeah,
a week
so-
off.
So leave the kid alone.
Oh, I am leaving him alone. No, he can do what he wants. I don't care.
I thought you
He can do
said
what he wants.
bedtime. I'm like, you communist.
No, he doesn't have to go to bed. He can stay up. He's fine. He does. But he's just
look-
like
If he's a Leon fan, he needs to go to bed.
he's definitely not a
Yeah.
Leon fan. He couldn't be a Leon fan. Not in this house. No, not in this house. Because in this house, we support West Ham, and our French club is Saint Etienne, which means we really, really, really do not like Leon. Okay, all right. Let me back up for a second since everybody's
Boy,
filing
that's
in
really
here.
that's
Green
that's very
Street
intense.
4. Green Street 4. Look out, Rob. We're coming for you. All right. If I'd have known there was going to be a bar mitzvah, I'd have worn me skull cap. That's a line from the movie. Okay, I didn't make that up. That's a line from the movie. Anyway,
Yoinks.
from Green Street. All right. So, welcome to American Hammers TV. It is Thursday night. We don't do a lot of Thursday night shows. We're doing one tonight. Because yes, because
we won 3-0.
I think he means 1976, but 1776 is also fine. We're doing that because
No, that's not how history works, but we'll go with it.
because we are
At
massive.
this point,
We
it's
are
all that
massive.
matters.
I'm just watching the goals again here on my phone. I'm just like sort of.
I
reliving
can't
this a little
I
bit.
can't stop watching that.
I mean, what an absolute like.
I basically blacked out after the Rice goal. So
All right.
Oh,
Let me
then
back up,
you
let me back up. Well, hang on.
hold on real quick. My favorite
Okay.
thing is the ball getting thrown out to the kind of the right, not quite right wing, but right center wing to Bowen. And I looked, and I'm surprised Bo didn't go, oh no shit, nobody's around me. This is great.
Right. It's like he's all alone. He's all alone, and he just slots it home. All right. So let me just say before we go any further, I want to welcome you to American Hammers TV. It's a massive night, as we all know. We're glad you're here. Help us out, guys. All right, help us out. Go to ahtv.threadless.com. You know what? I'll put the banner up if I can find it. It's in here somewhere. Here we go. Check it out. You know what? I can even. Can I make it scroll? No, not that one. All right, that's okay. This helps us keep our show running. It helps us pay for the online platform that we use. And just helps us bring you what I hope is very entertaining content about West Ham. So please check us out. You can get West Ham stuff, you can get AHTV stuff, you can get all kinds of stuff. It helps us. All right. So that was my son Isaac. You saw earlier. He wanted to drop in and give a shout. He's a fan. He likes the fan. He likes West Ham. All right. So yes, the other thing I want to tell you about is my own personal mission. Okay. My friend Ensa in the Gambia, who has started the West Ham United Football Club Gambia. Okay. There are 70 kids in this club. He is 16 years old. He is the only coach. He does it all himself. And he's doing a magnificent job. We just had a very big donation, a very large donation from somebody on Twitter. I appreciate it immensely. We've bought shoes for these kids, boots, football boots. We have bought bibs, like pennies to wear in practice or training. We bought cones so they can dribble around them. We've bought balls. We have bought a ton. We've basically been outfitting these guys. This is one of the poorest countries in the world, the Gambia. Okay, something like 50% of the people there live in poverty, and many are literally starving. So Ensa's just trying to give these kids a chance to play, and he loves West Ham. He's a huge West Ham fan. He's a great kid. I talk to him every day. He's a great kid.
And,
So-
and you have the link embedded everywhere, a pinned tweet on your.
I'm gonna pop this into the chat. All right, I'll do this a couple more times as we go through the evening. It's a GoFundMe. I set it up. We have raised more than $1,000 so far, which is fantastic, and we've sent a lot of stuff over. And I am in the process of getting more stuff for him now. So if you guys are willing to help, that'd be wonderful. Thank you, and thank you to those who already have, because I know a lot of you already have. Also, like and subscribe. That helps us as much as anything. All right. Who are these massive gentlemen?
And share, like, subscribe, and share. Very
And share,
important.
yes, and
Yes.
share.
And comment.
And share.
And comment.
Do all these things. Be in the chat.
And you know what? Just hit the notification bell while you're at it too.
You'll know.
Just do it all.
There's going to
do
be
it
a show
all.
tomorrow. Lucas, are you doing a show tomorrow?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. All right. So who are these massive gentlemen with me tonight? I'm going to start, as always, with this guy right here. This guy right here, Lucas, who does almost every show with me now. How are you, Lucas? What's going on?
I'm good. I'm drained emotionally. Still haven't really comprehend what I just watched. It was great to come back home to, for sure, after being in Austin for some time. So
Wait, did you say Austin?
yeah, I was helping a buddy move from Crofton, Maryland, all the way to Austin, Texas.
Okay. So where are you in America?
Maryland.
Oh, you're a Marylander.
He went
Yes,
to
I
Austin, Roy, and he didn't have Mexican food or barbecue.
Oh no. I had both. I ended up having both.
Oh, good. Okay, good. I feel better now. All right.
Look, I'm a Texas A&M guy. You could take Austin or leave it. I don't care.
I get that, but I mean, it's listen. If you got the chance to get Mexican food or barbecue outside the East Coast, you have to do it because it is better. It is.
Austin barbecue is absolutely no joke, and breakfast tacos in Texas are a religion.
Did you join the American Communist Party? Because that's the other thing you do when you go to Austin. You become a communist.
No, but everyone I met in the South was very nice.
I'm only joking. Austin is a liberal enclave in Texas.
I hate to break into this, but where in Maryland? I spent 4.5 years in the old guard. I spent some time hanging out in Maryland and
Annapolis.
Oh, the good old Naval Academy.
Annapolis, and then I went to school in Baltimore.
Right on.
All right, so you guys already know here on the bottom of the screen here, my fellow Texan. Well, he's more Texan than I am because he still lives there. It's Roy. How you doing, Roy?
I will be buried in this state. God bless Texas.
It didn't work out that way for me, but I'll tell you. Hello.
That's my daughter. That's my teenage daughter, not giving a shit about whatever I do. But she's 17, so Lord knows she doesn't give a shit about me at all. It's okay. There's my daughter. So she's a Hammer, but her secondary is Brentford.
That's not bad.
Hold on.
I don't know about that. I don't know if you can go into that.
Hold on. This is a fun story. So our secondary is Brentford because the very first match of the year was Arsenal Brentford, right? There's the first Brentford match back in the Premier League since World War II.
That's true.
And they smoked Arsenal. Like the Gooners just got pants.
That's true.
And
that's pretty sweet, actually.
And she was kind of watching, she kind of wasn't, but the post match, like just beauty of them singing, the Beatles and this and that, and like seeing the old men with like literal tears coming down their cheeks. She was like, you know what? I could also root for Brentford. So you know what? I bought her a Brentford kit.
Class.
That's a good dad. You're a good dad.
Sort of. What? I mean, clearly she has plenty of West Ham kits. In fact, her friends, I go from DH gate. So her friends show up. I'm like, now you're a West Ham fan. Now you're a West Ham fan. Now you're a West Ham fan. I'm like Oprah, but with a good cause. I'm like, yeah, we're all hammers here.
I did that. When I got married, I gave my best man West Ham. In fact, I had two best men. It's kind of a long story, but anyway.
The other one was a spud though. So he was like, "Yeah, I'm out."
Oh no, I gave my best man West Ham shirts. I gave him West Ham. I bought him West Ham shirts for that was a long time. That was like 15 years ago. But anyway, so next to Roy, down waiting very patiently from the south side of Chicago. It's Phil. How you doing, Phil?
Hey.
South side of Chicago.
Yes,
South
sir.
side, absolutely.
My wife's north side.
Huh?
My wife's north side.
You know, we
It's a
can't help
cultural
where we're
divide.
going sometimes.
You know what though? She's a hammer, so we're good.
So
My
it's all
cousin,
good.
my cousin lives in Rockford. I told you guys. Well, no, she lives in Belvedere, which is close to Rockford, which is only like 60 miles from Chicago. I mean, it's basically the same thing, right?
Hey, that will never cease to amaze me in the sense like you go to the army and you're in the army, they're like, "Oh, hey, you're in the army, you're from Texas. Do you know?" I'm like, "Do you know how many people live in the state
Dude,
of Texas that are actually in the
I
army?"
have gotten that all my life, and I have not lived in Texas since 1996.
Son of a bitch.
I have not
Like
lived in Texas since 1996. All right, when I graduated college, and people they will ask me, "Do you know?" So it's like there are 25 million Texans. Okay, there are
Oh, you're
22
from
million
Houston. That's close to San Antonio. I'm like, yeah, like London is close to Manchester, you asshole.
Can I just tell you, people would when I worked years ago when I was in high school, I worked at Six Flags over Texas. All right, big amusement park, Six Flags. Right, people would drive. They would come from all over the country, and they would. I worked in the parking lot. I used to direct traffic in the parking lot. People would come and ask questions like, they'd say things like, "Well, we thought, Six Flags is in Arlington, which is close to Dallas. Roy knows this." They'd say things like, "Well, I thought we'd just like go maybe to Houston for dinner and then maybe drive to San Antonio for some drinks afterwards." And I'm like, "Dude,
Jesus Christ.
you don't do that. It's a 5-hour drive to Houston if you don't hit traffic."
But Texans are like, I live in Houston and I commute to Dallas every day for work and come home. We're insane.
Texans will do that. Texans will drive 3 and 4 hours on a commute in one way and not think anything.
When I went over there,
That's true.
to meet the guys, and they're like, "Well, we got to drive all the way up to to Liverpool, the Scousers. We got to get up there. It's Everton. It's going to take like almost 4 hours." I was like, "Oh, it's we're going to DFW for a day. Let's go." Nice, whatever.
So we got Scott. I don't know where he is, but Scott and Reno come on with us eventually. All right,
It's very dark in Reno. It's very dark in Reno.
Yes,
There we go.
It's very light. Are you in College Station, Roy? You're in College Station, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah, it's very light down there. It's already dark here, man. It's real dark here. But
Oh, the sun setting almost at 8 p.m. is unreal.
it's better. Everything's getting better.
Unreal.
I got a green
Yeah,
state
starting to
tonight.
set over here. So it's been an interesting Chicago beginning to the spring.
What's it been like? It was cold here today. It was a little bit cold.
Also,
The
weather
wind was
phenomenal.
beating. The wind decided to beat my ass. So had to come to
Okay.
terms with that.
I get it.
You know what, Phil? I'll give you one thing. The wind here in the last 3 or 4 days has been. I have to put my umbrella down. I have to
Yes.
be concerned about my grill kind of wind. So it's we're getting into tornado season.
Yeah, I don't like that. That's one of the reasons I don't live there anymore. Seriously, I couldn't handle those tornadoes, man.
Well,
Give
down
me a
where we're at,
blizzard.
we don't get them, but we just get all the wind.
You get all the wind. Yeah.
Yeah, on
Well,
the,
I
on the
got-
drive
so-
back, the wind was just pushing my Bronco all around.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is
not
my-
great, Bob.
this is
Not
my
great, Bob.
unpaid endorsement. Nobody paid, but I got Green State Lager here from Zero Gravity Brewing in Vermont. Little celebratory beer. I like.
I was
this stuff.
literally going to
It's-
guess Vermont.
As well, it's got to be from New England. You know that. I only buy beers from New England. It's a little celebratory something for
So,
For
well,
today. So
it's funny. I'm the investment specialist guy for my real estate team.
Okay.
I not just, but we're getting ready to close. We put an offer and won it for a Vermont guy.
Oh, nice. Okay, good.
Turns
Cool.
out it's a real state. Go figure.
I love Vermont. I got to be honest with you. It's a misunderstood state. Okay, greatly misunderstood. We can talk about that some other time. But I love Vermont. I love Vermont. It's not what you think it is, but it's fantastic.
It's very cold.
Yeah,
It's very cold.
It's not that
Nice.
cold. It's not that bad. Whatever. It's fine. Scott, how are you?
And I am over the moon. I told my wife today, my daughter only knows a successful West Ham.
You know
She
what
was-
that reminds me of? That reminds me of people walk around Boston and they say, so the Yankees haven't won the World Series since something like 2009, I think. So they walk
Long may
around,
it continue.
right, exactly. And so they walk around and say things like somewhere there's a 12-year-old Yankees fan wondering if he'll ever see his team win the World Series, But
Yeah.
you right, they say that all the time. You have the opposite, okay? You have the opposite. You have a daughter who's only known success.
When she was born in November, West Ham took more points than any other team in the Premier League to the end of the season last year. So that was on Veterans Day.
I'll tell you what, Scott. Let's have a look here. Hang on a second. Let me get this. Do this. Do my
geez.
screen here. No. This is. Here we go. Embry. Here she is. Here she is. Come on, Embry. Where are you? There she is. Look at that.
That's her. So that's her. Whenever she sees a West Ham logo, or even she looks at her shirt that says West Ham United, she does this thing with her face, and she goes, and because she can't cross her, she doesn't understand crossing her arms yet, but she gets real. She gives me the face, and so that was her face this morning. And I actually just posted a picture of like our celebration.
Yes.
I busted out the
yes
bubble maker, and things went nuts.
I'm gonna find it. Hang on a second. I'm scrolling through.
There it is.
What's weird is that's my face every time I hear Diop is going to start.
Yeah.
Now, I would tell you.
But today, we earn money to sell him. I don't want him at the club anymore, but thankfully he actually showed up. I want to use him as a tool for club growth because I
had a certain amount of confidence, to be honest. I had a certain amount of confidence that
you had a certain amount of confidence in Diop.
Well, wait. I'll tell you what.
Do you drink at lunch?
Yes, but that's not the point. Coming back to France, all right. He's French. He played at Toulouse. He's played in that stadium before. I just had a certain amount of confidence that he would be competent. All right, not brilliant, but good enough, and he was good enough.
I think he was somewhere between good enough and brilliant, though. I thought he was. I thought
he has always been capable of it. All right, he's always been capable of playing well. His first season he was very good. His first season with us, he's always been capable of playing well. He needs confidence, and he needs the fans to back him. And I think
also needs a bit of consistency, though.
Well, he does. No, absolutely, Phil. You're right. He's not consistent. But
he needs to beat out the people in front of him, though. That's the problem.
He doesn't play very often, and
because he doesn't earn the right to play very often.
I'm with you, Roy. I haven't liked. Listen, we all know he's been error prone. Okay, I totally with you. I just had a feeling that because he was coming back to France, because he knows the territory, because he's played this club before, he's played in that stadium before,
and he can talk shit in his native tongue.
And he can he can run smack en français. He can run smack en français with all those. And can I just tell you, you guys, I hope you appreciate now, as somebody who has been a fan of Saint Etienne for 20 some odd years now, the biggest rival of Lyon. I hope you can appreciate now why Saint Etienne fans hate Lyon. This is a bandwagon club. This club was nothing until like 20 years ago. They had a relatively wealthy owner, not an Abramovich type owner, but by French standards, he was better off than most. And they won some titles, and everybody jumped on the bandwagon.
You mean the 8 in a row?
Yeah, 7 in a row. I think it was 7. Everybody jumped on the bandwagon and became a Lyon fan in those years. Okay, that's the years when I was living over there, so I remember this. Everyone became a fan just like that. They never had any fans before, so it's a very Chelsea-like, Manchester City-like story with people jumping on it. So I'm just saying, Saint Etienne has real fans. They did win the League Cup about 7 or 8 years ago, but I haven't won the league.
I don't know if you've already mentioned it, Lee, but did you see the fans attacking their own stewards?
That didn't
at the
surprise
end of the
me.
game?
I didn't notice that.
They knocked down both sides behind the goal, like where they had the fencing up. They knocked it all down. I'm waiting for it to get blamed on West Ham.
Oh, of course it will. We'll get some sort of suspension. Let me just say that the French supporters right now, a lot of them think they're hooligans. Okay, they're trying to be what English fans were like 30 years ago. They're trying to do the same thing, and it's a little bit embarrassing, but that's what they think they are. So anyway, Lyon, not a fan. Glad they're gone. Glad we beat them. Glad we beat them. Not just because of West Ham, but because I wanted to specifically beat that club. And as they say in Saint-Étienne, they all sera toujours le banlieue. They say Saint-Étienne will always be the capital of football, and Lyon will always be the suburb. So anyway, that's what we say.
Lucas, you win so far.
And that right there.
Oh, that's
is
Stain.
the dumbest thing that guy ever did.
I
all right?
was livid because I was watching it live, and then you funnel into Twitter, post match, and I saw him wink, and so I got this little kind of footy, I think we talked about this little footy Twitter account that were all 9 of us in the Brazos Valley that actually are Premier League or even World Football fans.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, Dembele, different club, same bitch.
It's not over yet, Jorge. Don't send us down yet, okay? We're not down yet. We probably are going down, but we're not going down yet. All right.
But this will be really good.
All right. I'd rather support Saint-Étienne in the Nacional in the 3rd division than support Lyon at any time.
It can be relegated.
However,
okay, look, I feel
thank
like
you for being-
internationally math is math. Metric or standard, it doesn't matter. Math is math and points are points. We'll get relegated. What are you talking about?
Well, they're
It's
not,
Saint-Étienne.
they have a
He's talking about
crisis.
Saint-Étienne.
Saint-Étienne have a crisis of ownership, and they're going to get relegated because their owners are cheap. And now you don't know cheap. You think David Sullivan's cheap. This is beyond anything you'd believe. So it's a crisis. But I'm not here to talk about that because I want to talk about West Ham because I want to talk about 2 things happened today. Okay, and you all know this, right? One, we knocked out Lyon after we had well, I'll get back to that. 2, what else happened? What's the second thing that happened? I know be careful what you wish for. Okay? But
everybody wanted
Parma?
Barca because it was beautiful, but we want Frankfurt because it's not Barca.
Barcelona's gone. They're
Karma
gone.
happened.
They're out.
That's my
They're
second thing.
That was rather shocking.
They're well,
Yeah,
and I
they
know,
blew it against Braga too, though.
I know that Eintracht will be a very tough opponent. Okay, we all know that. At this stage of a European competition, you're not going to get an easy opponent. You shouldn't. That's why that's what makes Europe exciting. That's what makes it worth playing in, right? So anyway,
Blah blah blah. They're super. We respect them. Whatever. I'd rather have Frankfurt than Barca.
I'm with you. That's what I'm saying, Roy. It's exactly what I'm saying. I'd rather have Frankfurt than Barca. I'm going to be
we can
honest with you.
sugarcoat it all we want to, and I would love to play Barcelona because good. Blah blah blah. I want Frankfurt, and I don't care if they beat Barcelona. I don't care because overall,
they're worse, foe. They're worse. Believe me, they're worse. Just trust me. And Jorge,
Germany's awesome. So have all our hammers overseas have a great trip.
Yes, they're gonna. Well, Frankfurt is not the most charming German city, but you know
So
what?
wait, do we play away at Frankfurt first?
Home at
I
first.
don't know.
Home is the first leg because
Is it?
God damn
Yeah.
it!
That I
because
don't like.
of the way they did the draw that carries on for the last 2 matches.
Okay. Well, we
until
survived
the
this. Okay, we
final.
survived this. All right.
I didn't like being away, or I didn't like being home first against, and here we are.
Again,
I
La, la, la.
You know what? We survived, and we survived a corrupt ref who was actually almost said legitimately corrupt, which is kind of an
No,
oxymoron.
to say it, he's a convicted criminal.
he's a convicted criminal.
He's a convicted criminal, so we survived him, and then I just had a feeling that we'd lose to Brentford, have a bad result against Brentford, and by the way, we're definitely losing to Burnley, so let's not even talk about that. Forget about that.
Hey, you know
I
what?
had a feeling we were going to thrash these guys, and
John Dice masterclass coming.
yes,
Hey, look, up the bees. You know what? Why not? I love a Cinderella story. So up the bees, screws, leads. Let's go.
Yes.
I mean, this performance tonight, it is weird how they're just different. They're just different. Oh, you're a Burnley fan. Well, my goodness. Well, I really respect that actually. I know you need to, and I would love to see Everton go down. I do not want to see us lose under any circumstances ever. I would love
There's
to see
still
Everton
too
go
many
We need
claret
it
and blue
once.
clubs. Someone has to go.
I know. Well,
No, Burnley has to go.
Let's boot Villa. Let's get rid of that.
I look at Villa and Burnley as the same. We're claret and blue. They're blue and claret. So they can fight between the blues. I ain't got time for that shit.
No offense. I'm ready for Sean Dyche to leave Burnley and let them rot in the third division.
No, I don't have anything against Burnley. I mean, listen,
Sean Dyche.
how amazing would it be for Frank Lampard to go down with Everton? I mean,
that
seriously.
would be.
You got to admit that is. I mean,
If
can you
he
imagine?
does that,
Let's just enter fantasy world, okay? Let's just go to fantasy
It's
world.
Thursday night. The sun is still up. Can you calm down the horniness?
No. I'm going to
not a chance.
this is a world where we win Europa League and Everton go down with Frank Lampard as manager. It's just like I'm giddy thinking about it. I can't.
That's a shame. That's a shame.
I don't think it's good. I don't think Everton will go down. But we have guys.
I think they will. I think Everton's
really?
going down.
Well,
I do.
They helped us on the weekend. They beat Manchester United. They helped us.
I think they're so broken, and Lampard Jr. is so. Bleh.
He's, but we are. You guys, do you guys understand where we are? That we're 3 games away from winning a European trophy. Does anybody? I mean, has the reality of that set in? Three games.
I think I'm more in the wonderland that I saw that big fucking bastard Greg Dawson score in a Europa League.
I'm going to tell you
quarterfinal.
how, and he scored the winner. He scored the winner because that was the winner, right? Because the other goals were, insurance. He scored the winner. Craig Dawson is the greatest purchase in the history of world football. I mean, £2 million, and the guy is quite possibly Hammer of the Year in one of the best seasons we have ever.
And
had.
he's been playing injured for quite some time now.
I don't think it's quite possibly. I think he is Hammer of the Year right this very second.
I think it's between him and Jared Bowen.
I think
I would pay £2 million, and I would pay $2 million more
to watch Craig Dawson make a tackle so the other side can't score. We need to get that. It's a good song. Okay, it's a good song. It is. It's good. I like it. All right. So this guy's like the greatest purchase in the history of world football. £2 million, and he might be our best player.
And you can't name me 5 other English center halves that are better than him besides Ben White and John Stones.
No, you can't. You can't because he's absolutely massive and he's amazing.
Right,
and I'll tell you this. I said this on Twitter and I'm not trying to, but I was actually right about something for once. Those tackles at the end of the first leg, okay, when we were struggling with 10 men, Craig Dawson comes in. That we're going to look at that the way we looked at Areola's save against Sevilla. Okay, it's going to have the same significance. They kept us in the tie. All right, they kept us in the tie. If we give up a second goal at home, I really believe we're out of it. I really do. Getting that draw after all the bogus things that happened last week, that's what allowed us to come in tonight with confidence and get the revenge that we needed to get. And not only does he make those tackles, he scores the goal to win the tie.
Well, think about like how much we love Fornals, and let's be honest, I love Pablo Fornals for his work rate. There are things that Pablo can work on, but his work rate, it honestly embodies the badge. However, Craig Dawson, and we sing songs about Pablo Fornals. We do. Dawson is massive everywhere we go. Dawson is massive everywhere he goes.
It's the accent that really sells it. It's the accent that sells it, Roy. It's the accent that's making
that legitimately sounded English and Baltimore accent combined.
Dawson is massive everywhere we go. Fashizi, Ballin Dawson. If you guys didn't see that, if you guys didn't see BT Sport, they put Ballin Dawson. Like,
yes. No, the guy is just, I mean, I don't even know what to tell you.
My wife and I were laughing about it because he got slammed in the head, so he goes down for a head injury. I'm like, if Dawson doesn't have a dentist gauze up one nostril and Suchek isn't bleeding from the forehead, we're probably not going to win.
No,
exactly.
I said this today. Craig Dawson takes better. Hold on. I said earlier today, I actually tweeted.
Is that your mom, Lucas?
No, that wasn't me. I heard it in the back. So I was, but let me finish this joke. a little warning of consent with this joke. Nothing bad. Lighthearted fun.
Okay.
I
Tell us.
tweeted Craig Dawson takes balls better to the face than Lisa Ann ever could.
Okay, first of all,
I don't know what you're talking about. Second of all, I'm like, yes, yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah, I don't know who that is, but he does.
Okay.
Do it better.
I legitimately don't know who that is, but I have an idea. So that's pretty funny. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
It's true.
Good joke. I'll accept it.
Yeah, well, no, we'll say yes. We'll accept it. Yes, exactly. That'll pass. That'll work.
Well, and what's funny is we talk about the value, like, oh my gosh, what a great guy for this price. He might be, and you know, this is for weird stat guys. When it comes to Dawson, he might be the greatest value relative to what he's contributed to a club in the history of the Premier League, or at least the last 10 or 20 years.
I'm saying this guy. I'll tell you, people talk about Alan Devonshire, and this is, of course, before our time.
And even Marko Arnautovic, he practically saved us from relegation.
Marko Arnautovic did save us from relegation, in my opinion. Say what you will about him, he did. I know he's a snake
and he was cheap,
but he was cheap. But Alan Devonshire, when he signed. I know this was many years ago in the 70s, but he signed for something like £5,000, which even if you account for inflation, that's a very tiny amount of money. And he turned out to be a West Ham legend, and he won the FA Cup in 1980, and he's a magnificent, great all-time player. I'm putting Craig Dawson bargain-wise, I think he's in that game.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but none of those guys won the Ballon Dawson. So
Cresswell was not expensive, but remember, Cresswell's been here for like 8 years.
But Cresswell's an asshole sometimes.
No, I like Cresswell. I
love Cresswell, and his left foot is kissed by God, but his decision making and shut off ability in the back end is fascinating.
I'm telling the truth. I don't know who that is, and I'm not joking. The only adult film star I could name is Lena, okay, because she's West Ham and she's on Twitter, and we all know Lena, and she's been on our channel, and she's a fantastic West Ham fan and knows her football big time, okay.
Lovely woman.
So
Lovely
I know her. She's brilliant. Really, she is. She's absolutely brilliant. Anyway, we had Bill Gardner. Rob, we had Bill Gardner. I'd love to get Cass in. Just give him a call. Let him know. Trevor Brooking, yes. Well, I agree with that's probably very true. I thought you were like 17 years old though. Didn't you say you were 17? You didn't watch Trevor Brooking. Anyway, doesn't matter. I don't even have an agenda for tonight. I just wanted to throw. Just tell me who impressed you? Who do you think was our man of the match tonight? Well, Lucas, why don't you tell us first?
Go on the horn.
Yeah, Lucas, you tell us first.
What did you ask me? I'm sorry.
He's got his mom talking to him. His mom distracted him.
It wasn't me.
Lisa Ann, take it easy.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
That's
right.
why I have the Musa Dembele picture up, because I'm doing
Musa,
research on Lisa Ann.
Musa, tell us who your man of the match was tonight.
Oh man, it's tough. I did a player ratings with Tom, James, and our pal Mitchell on E20's NTV. I gave Dawson a 10. I gave Declan Rice a 10.
Yeah. And
I gave
a fucking 10.
Actually, no, those were the two that I gave 10s. It's tough because everyone played so well today.
Because to a man, I thought we were fantastic. Yes. Absolutely.
There was websites giving Fornals a 9.2. I gave him a 9 in our ratings, but I'm gonna give it to, I gotta give it to Dawson. I have to.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Phil, who was it for you?
It's for an educational study.
You
get that education, man.
A little male curiosity. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm doing a thesis.
Yeah. Science.
It's for science. It's research purposes.
It's for biology. It's for biology.
Let's be honest. We're all men, and we have no idea what women actually are. So we're good. Yeah.
That's largely true. Phil, what did you think? Who did you think it was our?
So man of the match was I was gonna give it to Issa Diop, and then I was gonna the player that impressed me the most was actually Antonio. I'll give him. because I expected Dawson to show up. I expected Rice to show up. Like, I have expectations.
Absolutely,
I didn't expect those two to show up the way they did.
Yes.
And that, for me, that meant everything. I mean, when's the last time we said Antonio had a really good game?
He had, I'm going to defend him, okay? He didn't have a good one on Sunday. We know that. But he has good games all the time. He hasn't scored in a while, and I know that. But his hold-up play is still good. He's still a beast. He still makes runs. I still like Antonio. It's not his fault he's our only striker. It's not his fault he's our only striker. He didn't make that decision. Do you know what I mean?
Like, I'm not blaming him for that.
I know you're not. I know you're not.
I'm just saying, in terms of, if you look at all of his performances, this has been easily the best one he's had. He just looked like he was in his element the entire game.
He terrified him, Phil. They were scared to death of him.
Both matches, his hold-up play was spectacular because the backs were scared to death of him.
Exactly.
Like, he was going up, pulling balls down, like you expect your striker to be doing. He did the hard work in there and bang those backs around, which is what I want a striker to do. I want him to go in, bang those guys around, get them so focused on you. Now we can go wide.
Oh, and that chest touch that he had to Bowen, where he just laid it off his chest, was fucking beautiful.
Oh yeah.
But Phil, I think your point is really good. I mean, I would have said Dawson, but look, give Issa Diop, give that man credit. All right, whatever you think about him, whatever you think about whether he should be here next season or not, that's not the point. He stepped up, and everybody said people freaked out when Zuma went down, and that's understandable because Zuma's been fantastic for us. He's been one of our best players. Issa Diop stepped up when he had to step up, but he's going to need to step up again. Okay,
Probably.
We're not done with him. All right,
This is the difference, though. This is the difference. Normally, most players can get through a match. They can survive a match if they can do one thing well. Issa Diop for some time couldn't do one thing well.
Couldn't do anything well. I know.
But he has a few X factors or traits about him that are appealing. But my biggest gripe with him, besides the fact that I don't think he's that good, I think he's an unconventional defender and he's very shaky, and I still think he's a shit defender. But my biggest gripe is that he would never jump up and head a ball. He would just stand still, and he would leap. He would leap
8 feet tall.
Yeah, he's like 6'4", and he just
exactly
leap like a ballerina with a broken leg.
Right.
But today, he actually jumped in the air, used some force, and he headed everything away. And like I said, when you can do just one thing well, you can usually survive a match if you have no other like traits about you.
I'll tell you.
And he did play a great long ball to fucking Jared Bowen over the top. Or no, Antonio, sorry.
And I'll tell you this, I think Rob makes a good point. Having Lanzini back made a huge difference.
Somebody else's stuff.
He's been making a huge difference lately. Scott, what do you think? Who was your man of the match?
Scott, you're on mute.
Yeah, you're on mute.
Got it. So
there you go.
So I hate to say it because I trash Rice on a regular basis, but for one of the few times I've seen him play, he moved the ball quickly. He didn't stand on the ball, and I think him and Lanzini are a fantastic pairing. I love Lanzini in the mid.
I do too.
And I've loved him forever. I mean, when he went down with an injury, you didn't know what to expect, and he was bad for about 2 years till he got it all back together. Yes. And he's not the same player. He's slower, but he's smarter now.
I agree.
I thought Rice played spectacularly today. His shot on goal, he didn't do the usual wind up. 18, take 18 steps, wind up, and blast it over.
Yeah, no, he usually looks like one of my fourth graders or third graders taking 10 steps back and then run it up to him. He didn't do that today. He did that. Yeah. By the way, I just wanted this is Mark Noble. I mean, come on, man. This is like almost too much to bear emotionally, and he got a run out, which was great. Plus, I love this bit over here. Come on, you
I think you're missing the best one.
Am I? I don't know. I haven't really looked at everything.
Here, let me message you on Facebook.
Roy,
need to show it.
who was your man of the match, Roy? So Scott,
Well,
you said Declan. You said
Well, look, I got to be honest. My first thought is the fact that somebody slates Declan Rice on a regular basis is insane to me. So it's like you just don't want to be happy.
I think he just plays slow. I think he plays too slow. I think he stands on the ball. I think he demands the ball when we should be bypassing him altogether. So that's why I have an issue. I think that he wants to be so involved in the play that he refuses to let the team play around him, and sometimes that slows us down to a crawl offensively. And there we go.
Well,
Yeah, but
I mean,
but offensively, outside of Bowen getting loose, Antonio's worthless. He's not a 9. It's cute that he changed his number to 9, but he's not a 9. He's never been. He's not technical in the final third. He's not technical in the box. Just depending on what size of box you want to talk about, he's not technical. Bowen's our best striker, so if we want to take a winger and throw him into a striker, let's just use Bowen.
Moyes has done it he did it with Arnautovic. He did it with Antonio.
That doesn't make it, but and I get that, and I understand.
I agree.
Changing your number to 12 doesn't make you Tom Brady. All right. So like
we need Roy, we need a proper striker. I agree with you 100%. Everybody, I don't think anybody would argue that.
I think slating Declan Rice is ridiculous because if he was trash, he probably wouldn't be in the England national team.
Well,
I'm not saying he's trash. All I'm saying is that
he's slow and trash.
He slows the play down.
No,
he does. I think he's a great player. I think he's too involved offensively, and he's a defensive center mid. He's not our offensive center mid. Therefore, he shouldn't be touching the ball 5 times every time we get into the offensive third.
Okay, so you'd rather Suchek touch it 5 times and hope to God that he doesn't lose it in the middle third. And that's a debate for another time. My man of the match, I think, is easily Craig Dawson. I think there's no getting around the fact that Craig Dawson is just not only just a value thing we talked about. I think man of the match. I think candidate for Hammer of the Year is Craig Dawson. I was absolutely,
I do too,
just amazed by how well Diop played because I slate Diop so much. I do because he's so bad.
Well,
and
he deserved it lately, you know.
No, and look, and Diop did. Honestly, he surprised me. I loved how he played. I loved everything about Diop. I don't know that I would say, yeah, let's keep him on. But I think you pay Dawson what you're probably paying Diop, and you get rid of Diop. That would be my approach.
It wouldn't surprise me to see him go, Roy. It wouldn't surprise me to see him go.
We're going to have to bring in 2 new center backs regardless because
I know we are. That's right, Phil. You're right.
You're going to lose Ogbonna probably. I mean,
that'll hurt my heart.
Mine too.
Yeah,
we won't be losing him. I mean,
we can't count on him, can we? I mean, can we really?
We can't really count on Ogbonna after that injury at this point in his career.
I won't say die till he dies.
I want him to come. I want him to be able to keep playing for us, but we can't count on that at this point in his career. And plus, we do need to start looking at the younger side in our defense.
We do remember his Ogbonna's nationality, correct?
Italian.
And they age like fine wine.
They do.
Yeah, but
defenders at least.
This was a bad injury though, Lucas, and I worry about it. He's 30. What, he's 32, 33 now.
I think he's 33, going on 34.
I don't want to get
37.
I love Ogbonna. Okay,
yeah, Chiellini plays for Juve.
He's 33. He'll be 34 in May. He'll be 34 in about 5 weeks. He's 33.
Is he okay with sticking around though? As maybe a
Ogbonna, I don't see why he wouldn't be. He's been here forever.
We extended him.
Yeah,
or not extended.
Yeah, so
I don't want to get into a Winston Reed situation with Ogbonna. Okay.
Yeah.
We all love Winston Reed. Great servant of the club. We signed like a 6-year contract with him, and then he gets injured, and he basically is done. Ogbonna's 33 years old. He's coming off a terrible injury. I think we extended him for another season or maybe 2. I don't remember. I don't have really memory for that sort of thing. I think after that, it's I mean, it's got to be time to have the testimonial and sort of say like, thanks for everything. I don't think you can rely on somebody who has this injury at this age, even if he is Italian. And I agree, Italians age well, and I love him, and it's going to hurt when he leaves, but we have to be smart about this. We do.
Be smart about this, because that's totally our MO.
Smart and David Sullivan are not words.
Lawrence, we're not trying to drop him. We're not saying drop him. We know we need him, but we're talking about after this season. What do you do?
Yeah.
I still want Diop going.
Restructure.
And I'll tell you, Ken makes a decent point here, because Balbuena, if we'd had Balbuena this season, we'd probably have 6-7 more points at the table at a minimum, in my opinion.
Yeah. Really?
And oh yes, absolutely. I mean, no, I think so. I think Balbuena was a very solid backup, and we've struggled with these injuries at center back. Larry, listen, nobody's getting into Diop's case. Okay, I support him fully because he puts on the West Ham shirt. Hey,
play for the badge. Absolutely.
It's not a matter of what this season. It's a matter of, does he come back next season? It's a whole different conversation. This season, hopefully three more Europa League games, and however many more Premier League games. There's like 7 or 8 left. I'm fully behind Issa Diop all the way. No question about it. Everybody is. Absolutely.
But we're just looking at the future past this year.
The question is, will we replace him? And Fo makes a good point here. Do you remember after Diop's first season, there were rumors that Manchester United wanted to buy him for £60 million. Rumors, maybe that wasn't true. I'm gonna tell you, I'll be honest with you, I was sitting there saying, I don't know if I'd sell him for £60 million, because he was.
I'd have sold him for 16.
Yeah, but back then he was very good.
I think one of the conspiracies was that they were trying to package, I think, like around 25 mil and a couple of players, Phil Jones and Lingard. I think.
It was not a real. I mean, it was not an offer we were going to accept, I don't think. But so Ogbonna, we're going to have to do a lot of thinking about.
We're going to lose bare minimum 8 players this summer.
Well,
when you break it down.
Well, so that means that's just 8 players of cap that we don't have to pay anymore. Oh, I'm sorry. I was speaking in the board terms. My bad. My bad.
You channeled David Sullivan.
Hey, it's less wingers. Think of all the people that we can move to striker. Everybody can wear 9. Everybody can wear 9. You've ever scored a goal?
Bring in 5.
David Sullivan heard you say that, Roy. David Sullivan's like, what? No wages.
We need 2 strikers. We're going to bring in an assistant physical development coach. Sweet.
I don't know, Fo. I thought he was fine. I thought he'd been fine hanging around. He's not a star. He was fine. I mean, it doesn't matter. He's gone now.
I'd rather have Balbuena right now than Diop.
Well, I would too. I'd rather have Balbuena than Diop.
Look, if it's a 1-for-1, that's different. That's different. You said if we have Balbuena on top, but where we're at and what we played and who we played, I don't think that Balbuena is anything better than what we've rolled out there. And I love Ben Johnson, but he is still a year and he needs experience. He needs to play. But Ben Johnson needs a lot of development. And for some reason, I don't know if it's us or if it's him not hearing it.
He just needs to develop going forward. Yeah, I think he's a very reliable defender at such a young age already. He just needs to get it together going forward.
Worst passer ever.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, no, Roy, he's not a good passer. But let me just say this. He is good going forward, and he can play right and left back. He's a better right back, but he can play left back competently. That was huge today. Okay, because you know who didn't play today? You know who wasn't in the team at all?
And let's be honest, the first 25 minutes we were absolutely shit.
Right. 30. More like 30.
Kind of like how I thought it was.
More like 30.
That was very
going to dominate the early proceedings. But all we had to do was finish our chances on the counter.
That was a very nervy start.
We were always going to have a chance in this game, and we did. We did.
Yeah,
I was off by 1 goal. My prediction was off by 1. I had us winning 2-0.
I had us down 3-1, Phil. You and I both. I had us down 3-1. I thought Leon would score, but I thought we'd turn them over without extra time. I really did. I just felt as though our guys would be motivated. The ref, that wink, everything that happened, the red card, everything that happened on Thursday was gonna.
Well,
as far as I know, we have no suspensions for the semifinals, right?
Everything resets, and I guess
Everything
we'll never
resets,
know
yeah.
about the extra time results. What a shame.
No. So apparently Rice still has to be careful next match. It
Does
doesn't
he?
No,
completely
they reset.
I might be wrong, but I think it resets for the semifinals.
I
Yeah,
thought
it
it did
resets.
too.
They wipe out after the quarterfinals, so everyone's on a clean slate.
Gio said something about this, and I think had Rice gotten another yellow today, he would have been suspended for the next match because he would have already been suspended, if that makes sense. But I think
He would have been
because
suspended for the first leg.
right, but I think because it wipes out after the
because she's barely on.
it wipes out after the quarterfinal. I think we're on a clean slate. I think.
You know what? I'm going to do this to Gary. You are absolutely right. We need to talk about how massive we are.
No, I'm with you. Listen, I'm with you. I
mean,
didn't want to say
massive.
anything negative whatsoever. I just want to talk about happy, fun, good stuff. And somehow it never ends up that way.
Yeah, we're West Ham. We always find a way to get around to the.
We're miserable. We're miserable. It's a great way to be.
They used to call Boston sports fans the Fellowship of the Miserable. Back before Boston started winning everything, they called Boston sports fans the Fellowship of the Miserable. And I feel sometimes as though West Ham can be the same way.
In fact, the rest of you guys caught that. That was before Boston started winning everything. Blah, 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 blah. I feel like the rest of you guys caught that.
It happened. It happened. Well, it did.
There you go. Here we go.
I mean, all I'm saying is it did happen. So whatever. We're not going to win anything anytime soon, so I wouldn't worry about it. But
we're going to win something soon.
That's all I really care about. I could take or leave Boston sports as compared to West Ham. I could, it doesn't really matter. Boston, all that stuff is whatever. It doesn't matter. It's like a little ripple in the ocean compared to a tsunami. You know what I mean? There's James. Hey James, what's going on, man? Good to see you.
Biggest freak out on the planet. You're talking about 4 decades, and we just did what we did. 4 effing decades.
I'll tell you.
46 years.
46.
I'll tell you that, when we got past Sevilla, I thought it was a great accomplishment to knock them out because they've won this competition so many times. And they're highly placed in La Liga. This one with Lyon, it felt intellectually as though we should go through the whole time. You know what I mean? Then that first match happened, and it was a bad night. There was a pitch invader. There was a corrupt ref. A lot of bad stuff happened. The fact that we got out of there 1-1, I thought was an accomplishment. And that's why I felt as though we could come in and just absolutely wax these guys, which we basically did, tonight. You know what?
Lee, that official wasn't corrupt. He served his corruption sentence. Clearly, he'll never cheat again.
Of course, he'll never do it again, right? Hey, just like there was only ever one corrupt referee in the NBA, Roy. The NBA had one corrupt referee, and now it's the cleanest league in America. Right?
Seriously, I
we all
know
believe that, right?
It's just so terrible, so terrible.
But
should be banned for life. If you're going to ban Pete Rose as a player and a manager, then you ban an official. That's it.
Yeah. Yes, of course you should.
This is a one and done. That's it.
You should ban a corrupt official for life, and it's so UEFA that they didn't do that.
If you suck at what you do, I get umpires in baseball, MLB. They get graded, and some of them get kind of knocked down, this and that.
Yeah,
but
they're not allowed to come back to the major leagues. Yeah.
Being crappy at your job is different than taking a bribe.
He was guilty, and everybody knows it.
No, he served his sentence. We're good. Yeah,
interesting is it was Scott. You're on mute.
The biggest question about that is who in FIFA got rich due to his corruption. That's the question, because we all can put it right there.
That's always the way it works. Somebody always gets.
But other than FIFA is a very upstanding organization. They follow rules. They don't have billions of dollars in the bank.
UEFA and FIFA, the two of them are listen,
they're like the Catholic Church. They're beyond reproach.
You're going to get us in trouble, Roy. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying let's.
Hey, look, I'm Baptist. You can talk shit about us all you want to. We've screwed up.
I used
All
to
right.
be Baptist. I know there's a lot of
The
stuff. going on there,
Baptist,
too.
look, you're talking to a son of a Baptist preacher. We know. We know.
know. I used to.
Are you
I'm
son of a
Methodist now.
preacher man? Nice.
I'm a Methodist now, but I don't really care. I'm just where I go to church. I don't really feel like a Methodist.
No, look, the joke was. Okay, I'm sorry. In 2022, I'll apologize for whatever religion offense I laid on people. But the reality is, it's hold on, everybody, stop. Scott, oh my holy cute little baby.
Oh, it's a Oh, can she say West Ham are massive? Scott, can she say
No,
West Ham
no,
are
but
massive?
let's see if she'll do her thing. Hey, come on, you irons. Show me. You're not going to do it? Okay.
No, she won't do it. Man. Oh, she's adorable.
It's
absolutely
bedtime,
adorable.
so she comes up to say goodnight to Dad.
Of course.
If I could get one of those in clear and blue and large, tall, fat guy, I need that onesie as well.
I have it.
What?
I have a West Ham onesie.
You do not.
I'll go get
Why
it.
do you not wear this for
Wait,
every broadcast?
in your size?
In
your
my size.
How
I'm
are you
going.
not
I'll be
wearing it
back.
right now? Go get it.
Get it,
Come on.
dude.
Good Lord. Scott.
Boy, this shit is going off the rails, and I love it.
Oh, Roy, this show has never been on the rails. We don't have rails. We're just,
First of all,
Well,
Roy,
they're all,
let me
there's,
say one thing, Roy. Can I talk
this
to
thing
you
is
real
a
quick for a
4-wheeler in the
second?
mud. You know that. It just spins around. It
You
doesn't go
do not
anywhere.
apologize to any
Yeah.
religion except for the Church of Lisa Ann. You apologize to the Church of Lisa Ann.
Don't
and
ever
that's
disrespect
it.
the goat.
I don't really want to talk about my relationship with Lisa Ann, so we're good.
I don't care about being a Methodist in particular. I like people I go to church with. It's just incidental that they're Methodists. That's all. They're good people. They're good people.
I gotta be honest. I just don't really care. Like,
I mean, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter in the long run.
oh my god, you hurt my feelings.
Look at that.
That you're still not wearing it though, Scott.
I was gonna say we need.
You gotta put it on.
Boy,
I'm wearing this. I'm wearing
that's
this
a-
to the
that's a-
event in Vegas.
I don't know if that's a onesie or a clown outfit. I'm a little concerned right now.
Hey, so when my wife and I got married, she told me that her family all gets together for Christmas and they wear.
That's not a
pajamas.
Christmas thing. That's a
So
clown thing.
I ordered the West Ham onesie for Christmas, and then I wore it to see Andy Carroll play in North Carolina.
All right. Okay.
So I wore
Love
it
it.
in 100-degree heat.
Hold
in
on,
North
Rick-
Carolina.
Oh, that's rough.
Ricky Payne,
That's rough.
Craig Dawson, what a signing for $2 million. I would move the decimal to the right to keep him here. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he should be in the England team. He should be in the England
He
team.
should be
Mm,
amongst one of the last players.
England call-ups one thing, but speaking of England call-ups, since we have literally no direction in this show, and I'm super loud and obnoxious, how the flying fart has Jared Bowen not had a first-team call-up?
It's because of the badge, Roy. You know it's because of the
You
badge.
know what happens, Roy. West Ham don't get call-ups unless you're very special in their eyes.
Yes.
I got to be honest, he's getting really close to very special, no matter what eyes look at it.
Let me just say this. I don't want to listen. If it means they don't get injured, then let them not be called up. Okay. If it means that they stay healthy, and I don't care as much about international football as I do about West Ham. I'm always club over country, whatever the country is you're talking about. So I say let them stay. I mean, you know.
I will say I don't know that I can deal with Black Friday, us against England with Jared Bowen in this. I don't know that I can deal with
boycott
that.
the World Cup. Boycott the World Cup. They're playing it in a place with a horrific human rights record anyway. So let's just boycott the World Cup. All right. I might just do that.
I'm not boycotting the World
No,
Cup.
I need to see Christian Pulisic score against England.
So the last time that game was played, my high school soccer team had just won a state title, and we were busing home, and we had somebody record the game.
You were the
in
coach, though.
Richmond.
You were the coach.
Yeah, I was the
Yeah, you were
coach.
the
So we had
coach,
somebody
yeah.
record the game in Richmond and hand us the tape so we could watch the game. Nobody knew the score.
The tape.
The game on the bus.
That's awesome.
Scott, you can admit it wasn't tape. It was reels. You can admit to that. It's okay.
Scott,
Oh, it was
Scott
videotape back in the day.
It was 2000. When did we play
10.
England?
2010.
2010. I was gonna
It's
say, I
a
know
joke, assholes.
I know you weren't in high school in 2010. All right. But yeah, I mean,
Creepy.
yeah. But you were coaching. You were coaching high school in 2010.
I was
I
coaching.
I
that
remember
team,
them VHS days.
Well, listen, this is what Dave is saying. I mean, I'm with you. Honestly, for their careers, it's wonderful they get called up. For my purposes as a West Ham fan, I don't care if they get called up. I'd rather they not, actually. I'm just saying. I'd rather they not. So, there's something.
I get both. I'll just say I understand both, but I'm pining for just because you get called up doesn't mean you're going to play. I mean, you could. Jack Grealish sees like 47 seconds a match for England, but it's what a bitch! I hate Jack Grealish so much. But
it's pretty funny.
It's like
jump in on that one. Gladly.
I will go to jail for slapping him in the face in public. I cannot stand a little poon.
You gonna Will Smith him? You gonna Will Smith him?
No, I'm actually gonna slap the shit out of him.
His hair bob is gonna it's gonna
when I'm done slapping him, he's gonna look like Phil Foden. All right. No, but sometimes getting called up, it's just the honor of being called up.
Of course.
You know, I'm not expecting him to play. I'm not expecting to start. It's just the honor. That's it.
I'm with James on this. And here's the thing. That's really starting to sink in for me. Okay, and I know I keep saying it, but listen, we have Eintracht. Okay, let's look at what's the bracket here.
It's Burnley.
This guy's trying to make us focus again.
We're gonna know because I'm too happy about this. Okay, so we have Eintracht and then either Rangers or Leipzig, Red Bull Leipzig. Okay?
Oh, did you guys catch kind of like the last bit of the Rangers match plus extra time?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Man, Braga, they tried to make a match out of it. They were 10 men, and then
9 men.
Just complete moron shitwagon brain face gets in the face of the official after being yellow carded, and I'm talking like Pete Rose, back in the day, nose to nose, gets a second yellow, like 40 seconds, 2 yellows. And ruins it. It's 9-11.
Oh, that was today. Oh, I didn't even know that.
Then the funniest part was the announcer
they were down to 9 men. Yeah, you're right. They were down to 9 men.
9v11, and all they needed was a goal. And the best part was, God bless Rangers. The announcer was like, "Yeah, this is still going to be really miserable for Rangers. Somehow Braga's going to find a way to make this miserable," and holy crap, they did.
But listen. I mean, seriously, 2 games, home and away against Eintracht Frankfurt, and then either Rangers or Red Bull Leipzig. This is very real. Like, this is not a. What am I trying to say? This is not like a hypothetical.
This isn't like Moses parting the Red Sea, but it's close.
No, but it's not a hypothetical scenario anymore. We know what stands in our way now. We know exactly what stands in our way. We know who it is and what it is. What do we know about Eintracht Frankfurt? Guys, I know you're all big fans of German football.
They're in Germany. I know that. And they're in Frankfurt.
And they just knocked out Barcelona, by the way. Not a small thing. And by the way, knocked out Barcelona in the Nou Camp. Scored 3 goals in the Nou Camp. That's not easy to do. I don't care who you are. That's not easy to do.
But, I mean, we knocked out Sevilla, and who the shit are we? Relative to Sevilla's history in Europa. So again,
that's a very valid point.
Me reading it to you is a little bit.
It's a very valid point. Is that your daughter talking, Roy?
That's my wife trying to talk quietly to our friend.
Oh, wife trying to
it's my daughter is 17. She is not in this house. It's a Thursday night. They have no school tomorrow. She's at the movies.
Yeah, Good Friday. Listen, that is weird. I've never, growing up here, that was never a thing. He never got Good Friday off.
Where'd you grow up?
I did.
Where'd you grow up?
Chicago, South Side.
I feel like when I have to say Texas, I have to say Texas again and be like, but yeah, Texas.
Exactly. I got it.
I taught in Florida, and we got every religious holiday. Everyone.
Really?
Yom Kippur. We didn't get Kwanzaa, but we got everything else. Every
You
holiday
get those
we
Jewish
got.
holidays, you got it made, man. There's a lot of Jewish holidays. You get those,
Uh,
that's awesome.
I didn't
Yeah,
even
that's
know.
awesome.
I started and someone's like, "Yeah, we got 2 days off," and I was like, "What? Yom Kippur?" I was like,
Do it.
"Okay, sounds great.
You gotta
I'll
atone,
celebrate."
Okay, I think that's the Day of Atonement, so you got to atone. You got to atone, but whatever, you can atone from home.
Atone for your Lisa Ann sins.
I need
Atoning
look.
for
You know,
What
when
if
it
it's got
comes
real
to
quiet since we mentioned Lisa Ann, by the way? Have you
when
noticed
it when
that?
it comes
You
to
haven't seen
oh,
it
hold
since
on.
we mentioned Lisa Ann.
I'm atoning
He
for my
mentioned-
sins.
He brought it up. He brought it up.
It's just
I'm
I
atoning for my sins.
Yes, I can tell.
yeah.
But I'll tell you this.
And lots of
Eintracht,
praying.
these guys, this is not. I mean, it's not going to be easy. All right, it's not. However, they sit ninth in the Bundesliga table.
Friends, right?
So they're a little bit like
Right.
Lyon in that they're having not a great season. They sit ninth. They're not, they're 5 points out of a European spot. Yeah, I mean they're mid-table. You know what I mean? So
they're
There's
us, but they speak German.
kind of. I mean, it sort of looks that way. I don't really know that much about this club, though, to be honest, and that's why I'm looking up a little bit here, a little bit of information. I don't actually know. Well, I'll tell you this. I'm looking this up. Last time they won the Bundesliga, 1958-59. Okay, so they are a little bit like us. Last time they won a
They're us.
last time they won the German Cup, 1974. They won the Europa League in 1980. Or what was back then was the UEFA Cup, and then they won.
So like FA in '80. So
They're 5
it's, yeah.
points off European positioning right now. They're 5 points off.
Well,
so they're. I mean, listen.
There's,
I don't want to
there's
take it
5
lightly,
matches
okay?
left. They're 5 points off. It's up for grabs for them too.
All I'm
So-
saying is they're beatable. All right, we do not have anybody in our
beatable.
They're
Beatable.
Yeah.
No, Barcelona was beatable. We should beat Frankfurt.
Arguably we should. I agree with you. Arguably we should. They're a lot like
Argue-
Europe right now.
That's the idea. Let's argue. That's the idea.
Except they have less. They have less European experience than Lyon. Okay, Lyon have that club. A lot of those players have been in and through Europe in the last 4 or 5 seasons in different competitions. Eintracht, less experience. They're kind of mid-table. However, they just went into the Neukamp and won 3-2 and knocked Barca out.
And
I don't care who you are. That's hard to do.
And
That's
we're
a good-
forgetting we're 2-0 against them in European competition history. And
Yes, from
that
back
makes
in
me
the
nervous.
70s, from back in the 70s, yeah.
That makes me nervous.
I mean, it's
Oh God, boy, do I have a story for y'all when you're done.
We're probably done. Are we done? I don't know. I mean, I'll say
So
this.
no, we're not done. Here we go. And Lucas hit on it. This whole so I'm like fighting Texas Aggie, Texas A&M, and we have what we call battered Aggie syndrome, BAS, and it's miserable. And then when we're up by 40 points, we're like, shit, we're gonna lose. So like we got up to 2-0 today, and I was like, son of a bitch. And we got a 3-0. I was like, damn it, now we're screwed because we know about us against Tottenham, right?
3-0 with West Ham is the most
Yeah.
dangerous lead you can have. Yeah.
Oh, it's not dangerous if you're the other club.
Right.
It's quite lovely.
They love
But-
to see it. Right, exactly. They love to see it. Yeah.
But the reality is at some point, the battered bastards in claret and blue have to embrace a little bit of dominance. Look, we're not the biggest club in Europe. We're not the biggest club in the world, and I get that. But we have to quit acting like we're these battered little bastards who have every call goes against us and everything's against us and the world's against us. Because I'll tell you what, the first leg in London Stadium, we felt that because that ref, and then everybody researched like, oh, check this guy out. He took bribes. But the reality is, if you're truly a championship team, despite the cup you're playing for, you can overcome that. And you know what we did today in effing Lyon?
Yeah.
We overcame that.
We overcame. No, I'm with you.
And we didn't just hold on. We didn't just go one. We just battered the shit out of them.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't let them up after the first goal. We didn't let them up, and that's the thing I like best is we scored another before half, and then we
And
basically had 'em-
another.
they were basically dead at that point, and then we came out and buried them early second half. We came out and buried them, and that was it, and that was really it. And that it's not a very West Ham way to do things. The Sevilla tie was more like what we're used to, you know.
But there comes a point as West Ham fans, we have to quit being victims of our own victimhood. Like we are the like we're West Ham United. And at this point, on this trajectory, and look, I get it. We still have to play Frankfurt. We still have a lot to go. And in our Premier League, kind of table standings aren't great. But the fact that we're able to do what we do with an absolute dearth of depth
Yeah.
at every position.
Now, let me just say this: what I can't wait for, okay, and I don't want this to happen, but what's going to happen? We're going to lose on Sunday to Burnley. We all know this, all right? We all know this.
Don't
And
care.
everybody. No, I don't either. but that's not the point. Everybody will freak out. Everybody will say sack David Moyes. Everybody will say, why didn't we strengthen in January? All this stuff will come up all over again when we have
No way. It won't. No, it won't.
Oh, it absolutely will. If you're on Twitter, Roy, you know it will. We are 3 games away from Champions League. Okay, we are 3 games away from your European trophy. We are 3 games away from probably keeping Declan Rice for another season and Jared Bowen with Champions League football. We're 3 games away.
Focus on what's important.
At this point, I don't care if we finish 17th, all right, which we won't. I just want to win this trophy. I want to win this trophy. I don't care if they play the under 12s on Sunday, all right? I'll go out there and play. Sign me to a contract.
And nothing would be better than winning Europa League to get into Champions League and Spurs finish 4th and we deny them that fucking
baby, that would be
that would be spectacular.
I mean, that would be one of the greatest things that we could ever do. Since we poisoned it with lasagna years ago, that'd be one of the greatest things we could do as a club.
Why?
I mean,
Yes,
you know what we need is hardware.
Right here.
That's it. That's
Just
it.
win.
Just hardware.
Just win.
A trophy.
Forget
a
about
European
everyone
trophy.
else. Just win, baby. Win.
Just win. We got 3 games. You don't even have to win all 3. You can draw one, and like we did against Lyon, and still come through the tie. Okay, so 2 wins and a draw. 2 wins and a draw get us a European trophy and Champions League. That's the reality of it. At this point, Burnley, whoever, I don't care who. Just play the kids. Just play the kids. Don't mess this up. All right. No more Kurt Zumas. Okay.
I mean, I'd say play the starters, but until the 83rd minute, we don't really sub. God bless David Moyes, and let's be honest, one of the greatest stories in football right now is what David Moyes has done.
You bet. Absolutely.
Like the greatest comeback story in the history of managers.
Yeah. Hey, go ahead, Phil. What were you gonna say?
No, it's like what Roy said. This is the greatest comeback for a manager. I mean, I don't know if there's another manager we can look at and say that has had a greater trajectory back up after falling so hard.
I don't think so.
Twice.
And we know he's not
Twice.
perfect, all right? We know his faults. We know he doesn't sub well. We know he's a little predictable with his starting 11 and with his tactics, all right? We know we didn't strengthen in January, which I don't think is all his fault. I still blame Goldsilva and Brady for most of that. We know David Moyes' weaknesses, okay? And we see them pointed out all the time on the cesspool that is social media. I just want to say.
We're on social media, by the way.
I know. I'm in the cesspool, too. I swim in it every day. I'm in the cess with everybody else. So
Lucas is more in the cess with Lisa Ann, but he has we're not. Yeah, his video is off. So whatever.
I'm not gonna judge him for that. David Moyes, listen, whatever you think, he comes in, he keeps us up. Okay, the board have no faith in him. They don't bring him back. Right? He
gets us out.
Right. He has to come in, keep us up again. Okay, keep us up again. Then he comes back in the next season, gets us into Europe with our highest point total ever in our history in the Premier League. And now we're 3 games away. West Ham United are 3 games away from a European trophy. Guys, go back 2 years when we stared into the abyss during the COVID shutdown, when we sat there in 17th, wondering if we'd be relegated or not.
No, I'm good. I'm good. That never happened. I know what you're talking about.
If you don't want this guy around, you're out of your mind. You're out, and I still see hate for David Moyes on Twitter, and it drives me Absolutely nuts.
What the
I know he's
Well,
not Alex Ferguson, okay, but he doesn't have to. Be, all right.
Twitter is full of morons, and
Twitter is full of
there's
idiots.
5 of them right here with
I know. I'm
video.
one of them too. I'm one of them too.
But-
I will
but-
admit to that.
But there, look, Moyes. If you don't appreciate the Moyes turnaround, and not just West Ham, just his entire career turnaround, like I don't.
They left him for dead. Manchester United was the poison chalice. He took it. Nobody was going to succeed there. Nobody really has after Ferguson. He got bounced around to places like Sunderland, where they were a dumpster fire. He went off to Spain. I don't know what he was ever doing there. I mean, the guy was left for dead. Goldsilver and Brady, Brady brought him in because he was cheap and available. All right, he was cheap and available. The way David Sullivan likes his women, he was cheap and available. And then they didn't even want him after that. They said, no, we're going to go get a high dollar manager who failed. They had to bring him in again because they're still cheap and available.
I'm sorry. Did you say? I'm sorry. Are you talking about Brady or wait? What?
Well, she's not
Hooker, not Hooker. Hooker.
She's not
totally Hooker.
But
totally a hooker.
David Sullivan has a history. Now you know that. You talk about porn stars. That was his business. That's what he did. So.
Yeah, great. Karen Brady's a hooker.
There's a reason the two Davids are known as the dildo bros now.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
And we all have to be like, son of a.
I mean, so I'm just saying, don't throw David Moyes hate at me, okay? We know what his faults are. We know what.
Was that E20 easy or the comment that just came up?
That was
like, look, yeah. So got to focus on Premier League. The Europa job is 80% done. No. The Europa job is about 10% done because every round you have to reset.
Exactly.
So the 10% is getting to that round. And I'm not trying to be a jerk, but bro, it just resets. But we get Frankfurt, not Barcelona. I think David Moyes should be.
Can you not hear me? Really? You can't hear me? Seriously? Can you guys hear me? No.
If it's not a Netflix series, then I don't know.
No, he's getting a docu-series. Hell, he might even star in casting his own documentary.
Karen Brady might get him on The Apprentice.
Yeah, well, that's a nice way. That's a nice way to put. I'm gonna bang you. But
he's got higher standards.
I would say I would make the argument. I would make the argument.
Standards.
Actually, you know what? I wonder if I ran into this thing.
Maybe that's the problem.
People he has around him, those aren't high standards.
I would make the argument that the Europa League job is, you could say, it's 0% done until we win the trophy. All right.
Well,
that's an argument that you could make.
No, absolutely. Like, tell you when the trophy, none of it matters. Like, yay, we almost won, and that doesn't. And to an extent, that doesn't matter. But at the same time, it does matter for qualification shit. Like, there are things that tie into this, but. Yeah, I get it. Like until we have hardware, like we don't have hardware.
And don't get me wrong, I'm proud of this accomplishment. Okay, I'm proud of reaching a European semifinal.
But on to the next.
Exactly.
On to the next.
If
I had to have the next would be Frankfurt and not Barca. So I'm good.
To be fair, all of West Ham will just come. If the trophy doesn't come through this, you will have thought that this season was a complete waste.
You're right.
Nope.
We were relegated. Yeah. I mean, at the end of it all, and look, I am as guilty of it as anybody.
Nobody's ever said that before.
Right now, I am riding high because I've been through it, right? And I mean, granted, I'm not from the neighborhood. It's not live or die like that for me. But on the other hand, like I will look at this silver lining in this because you have to with this club and with the work put in.
We ask for so little. We really do.
Well, really, title or bust.
But and Eamon is right. Eamon said earlier that most West Ham fans don't use Twitter. The Twitter fans don't represent most West Ham fans, and I think that's true. Yeah. All I'm saying is I stayed off Twitter today. I mean, I read some stuff, but I didn't tweet it because I did not want to come back this afternoon after the game and read the freak out if we lost, because it would have been a meltdown. If we lose, if we don't win these next 3 games or come through these next 3 games in the Europa League, and we may not, you know that, people are gonna freak out and meltdown like you wouldn't believe, and that's not fair. That's not fair to this team,
But it's true.
These players. No, it's not fair to them though.
But I didn't say fair. I said true.
Well, it is true.
Yeah.
It is true. But what I'm saying is, that's so weird. People can't hear me. Okay, that is very strange. That has never happened. Nobody's ever called me quiet in my life ever.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I can relate. My biggest thing is what we have to do
Maybe it's their
in this season to really truly salvage this season. When you want to say salvage, that's how you think of Leicester. Leicester barely crawled back to win their to win their match today on aggregate again, and it was brutal for Leicester. And I have no love lost for Leicester, but I don't care about Leicester. Like Crystal Palace, they're just kind of like the gnat when I'm trying to grill.
Total indifference to them. Yeah, exactly. Total indifference to Leicester.
Yeah, I'm trying to grill burgers. Get away from me. But but when it comes to how we establish ourselves within London, this is big.
This is more likely, by the way. Yeah, of course. Well, listen.
Yes, epic. That's quite true.
The stuff that's on the line here is gigantic, all right? Because you could make the argument it's not just the first trophy since 1980. It's not just the first European trophy since 1965. And by the way, it would probably be our biggest European trophy. It's Champions League, and yeah, it might be keeping Declan Rice and Jared Bowen. It could be. It's possible. I'm not saying they're going to leave if we don't win. But no, not tonight. No, not tonight. I can't go on for that long, Phil. I don't have that kind of energy.
It's you know what, hey Lee, you know what it is? It's establishing us inside like the popular top 4 or 6, even though they don't want us to be there.
Even though they don't
so
want
sometimes you have to force your way in.
You have to force your way in, and yet we all know we should have strengthened in January. All right, everybody knows. I know that we all know that. I still personally only blame Moyes for about 30% of that. I think David Sullivan signs the checks. All right. We know who these owners are. We know how they've been over the years. But yes, we should have strengthened. On the other hand, this is another point. You sign a Crawl, you sign a Vlasic, you sign a bunch of players who aren't good enough just to strengthen. It doesn't help.
Yeah, Iman nailed it right there. Yeah, Iman Green nailed it.
Really good. So you have to, even though we all question not strengthening in January, you have to trust that Moyes saw or did not see something and said, you know what, it's not the time. Did he get it wrong? Maybe he did. All right, maybe he did. But he's gotten a lot of stuff right. Is all I'm saying.
Here's my take, and I want to hear all of y'all's take on this. I consider it a 50-50. It's both Moyes 50% and the board 50%. That's it. You either sign somebody or you don't. And it's not like we signed crappy players. We signed nobody.
I know. And it's
wait, we did extend Antonio. I mean, we extended him. I mean, that's a signing, right? Doesn't that count as something?
Well, you're just causing
hold on. It wouldn't count if he hadn't changed his number to 9 to be the 9. So yeah, okay, good call.
Listen, he does what the club tells him to do, what the club needs him to do. He wanted another striker. He said, buy another striker. Okay, we didn't do it. Whether that was Moyes or Sullivan or both, I don't know. But you can't blame Antonio. He didn't say, I'm going to walk if you buy another striker. He said just the opposite. He said, buy somebody in to compete with me. We didn't do it.
No, but I can blame Antonio for deciding to change his number to 9 and then hanging out on the wing.
I will say this because we didn't buy anybody in January. I think the only way we get to Europe next season is probably by winning Europa League. Maybe we get to the conference by finishing 7th. That's possible. I don't think we're finishing top 6. I don't. Not with the fixtures we have coming up. So we put ourselves in a bind in that sense. But can we just remember for a minute that it's not normal for West Ham to be at this level? Like we all dance and move forward. Everybody wants that for the club, but this is not where we're. This is still a big deal. That's what I'm saying. Yes. Why are you raising your hand?
I'm trying to because I feel like I talk too much.
Oh.
But can we get over the fact that we think we're fucking fortunate to be here? Can we start thinking in the sense that maybe, despite our lack of any sort of transfer moves, that West Ham is a massive club in London?
Yeah, I don't.
And maybe just No, no, you said like, isn't it nice to be here? No, it's not nice to be here. We should be here.
Well, but we
I understand it where we've been, where we're at, and I get that. I don't care. We're a fucking massive club in London, and the fact that we're like okay with competing is insane to me.
we should have been here. We should have been here for years, but we've never, in the history of the club, we've never really had good owners. And I'm sorry, you can take that all the way back to Len Stearns. You can take that back to Terry Brown. You take to the Icelandics who went bankrupt. You take to Gold Sullivan Brady. We've never had the owners to get us to the next level, ever, ever, ever. Read Chuck Corr's book, The History of West Ham. Read the book. He'll go all the way back to the very beginning, all the way through the very beginning. We've never, ever, ever had the owners, ever. And we
Acting like I never read. But what we've had isn't what we have, and I feel like
we have a manager who has worked miracles. We have the best.
Yep.
We have the best defensive midfielder in England at a minimum, one of the best in the world.
Scott is writhing in his onesie. I want to hear his opinion.
I love it. No, look. We are obviously, when we made the stadium move, we committed to becoming a top team in London. You don't have to like this stadium, but that move committed it. Right? You go from 38,000 seats to 65,000 seats coming in.
That's what they promised.
That's money. And so they promised it, and they've actually kind of come through. Maybe despite their own idiocy, right? Their own mistakes.
Oh God, I love you. I love you.
Moyes showed up. Moyes saved their asses through all of this, right? We were going to go down 2 years ago. Moyes saved the ownership
twice. Yeah, just twice.
He saved him twice. He saved him one time. They didn't bring him back. He had to come save him again. That's what's crazy.
From quality dildos to the cheapest dildos.
We would have had a big issue with our lease if we'd been down at and where would we have played?
Listen,
right?
no, Scott,
that's Moyes.
Listen. You know how I feel about our owners. You know I'm always GSP.
Roy, did you scar somebody with that?
I'm sorry. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, never mind.
E20 zone is right. The job isn't done yet, but we're closer to getting the job done.
We're closer to getting the job done. And look, let's be honest. Let me just.
It's like Toby said, job's not done. Job's not done.
I look at, but you know what you can do. Here's one good thing about social media. Okay, go on Twitter, go on Facebook, look at our fans. All right, look at our fans in Lyon. Look at our fans in Sevilla. Look at the pictures and the videos. Look at thousands of West Ham fans in beautiful locations around Europe, drinking, having a good time, having fun, following the club. You know what? I mean, really, that's really what it's all about. Now, not for us.
Just please never compare us to the Cincinnati Bengals ever again.
Yeah, please don't do that.
Well, see, my thought is,
I don't think the future is that bright for the Bengals. Again,
I'll be honest. My thought is, look at how our rivals are super up in arms.
It's
like, look at all these spoils. Like, what have you won? Why are you stupid? Please stop talking.
You know what? They hate the fact that we're successful. They cannot stand it. It drives them crazy because they're used to always, we were always an easy fixture. We were always battling for relegation. We have beaten Liverpool.
Look,
in various competitions: Manchester United, Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham, Sevilla, and now Lyon, all in one season. I mean, all in one season, we've done all this. All right, not the same competition, but you see what I'm going after here. That's incredible. That's amazing.
They don't sing it. They don't sing it enough. We are the bastards in Clare and blue.
They don't sing it enough. I mean,
it has upset the apple cart.
The stadium.
I felt it
we've
crawling
exactly, Scott.
And I was like, "What is that?" And then it was like on my nose, and it was going up toward my eye, and I.
But what I'm saying is, you look, and I know here is we're all Americans here, so it doesn't really affect us the same way. But look at our fans. Look at the West Ham family traveling around Europe, having a good time. That's what it's all about. Whether we get through Frankfurt or not, our fans went to Spain, to France, to Germany. They represented West Ham proudly. They had fun. They drank those towns dry, and that was a fantastic experience for them, no matter what.
And by the way, we won.
And by the way, we won.
Yeah, oops.
It was good to see you, all right? It was good to see you. Come back on the show soon, okay? We'll have you back on soon. We've been rotating the squad a little bit, but we'll have you back on soon.
You're not rotating enough if I'm still on here. You're
Oh,
awful.
you built this all your second time.
Because I'm terrible.
No, get out of here. No, you're
I
not
think
terrible.
we're gonna have a good time.
Believe me, we've had terrible, and you're not terrible.
I'm still concerned that I'm staring at Dumbele. I don't.
He's winking at you.
I'm
He's trying to get your attention.
I'm trying.
Yeah, but the problem is, like, I'm staring at Dembele, and there's Elisa Ann, and I don't. Like, I'm married. I don't know what's happening. I don't. This is really
he's winking at Lisa Ann. That's what he's doing.
Okay. That checks out.
That checks out.
So I've heard.
I'm trying to think of a comparable moment in sports to that wing, like when somebody got overconfident in a series or in a game, and it came back to bite up. I mean, I'm having trouble.
So about Lyon?
Yeah, I'm talking about the little wink.
The Dodgers, when we kicked their ass. I'm an Astros fan. Tell me to cheat all you want. I don't give a shit. It's baseball. Everybody cheats. When the Dodgers got Barkey and Chippy, and you know what we did? We still beat them. And we actually had a better batting average. We hit more home runs in Los Angeles than we did in Houston.
Yeah.
So suck it.
That's kind of what I'm talking about, though. That little wink. I mean, that was nasty. Larry, you should come. We will have you on again, Larry. Don't worry.
Ooh, I was angry about that. I was irrationally angry about that little wink.
Yeah, but then the West Ham men pulled it through.
When I saw it, I said to myself, he's going to regret that. We said it last week. We all said it last week. I said, that dude is going to regret that.
He dug his own grave.
Regret that move. That was a bad idea, man. A real bad idea.
Like I said, I put it in my little footy chat. I said, different club, same bitch. I don't like him.
Don't poke the bear, man. Don't poke the bear. That's exactly what they did.
Did you guys see that point where Fornal's like late in the match? Like he earned a foul, we'll call it. And the camera's like zoomed in on his face. And part of me wanted to say, please wink. And the other part of me was like, but the other part of me was like, you know what, Fornals? Be you and don't. Like it's almost like be the better man, right? Blah, blah, blah.
I think this is possible, Frankie. I felt so confident.
Frankie, God bless you, and I feel you, and I love you for that statement.
I felt so confident going into that second leg of Lyon, and I said last week, we may not beat Brentford. I didn't think we would beat. I kind of wasn't sure we'd lose 2-0, but I didn't think we'd beat Brentford. But after their antics, after we survived that game last week, I thought there's no way we're losing Lyon. There's no way. And we didn't. So, yeah, this is a weird thing. They were very aggressive in Sevilla. They were playing Betis the day we played Sevilla away, and there were some altercations between Frankfurt Eintracht supporters and West Ham supporters, in which the Frankfurt supporters ended up
fight.
Yeah, well, the Eintracht supporters ended up running. Of course, that shouldn't surprise anybody, but they did. They ran. It's true. But we didn't make our payments on time. Well, come on, man. You deal with David Sullivan. Yeah, that's your fault. That's not. You can't
make that deal with the devil.
I was gonna say you make that deal with David Sullivan. That's stupid. That's just dumb. Make our payments. Come on, who do you think this guy is? He doesn't make payments.
That's the problem. Is who you think he is, as opposed to what we know he is.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know what? Go off. You know what I'm talking about. Go, please.
The man sold off the debt in the most. It's as if he was a true American. He found a way.
Whoa! Hey.
That's a true capitalist. That's a true capitalist in this country.
David Sullivan.
We don't take our debt on. We move it on to someone else.
No, the guy is. I mean, that's what I'm saying. This is West Ham right now it's like a major league type situation, right? You got these diabolical owners almost trying to destroy us, and yet we're getting better and better, So
we're not doing the Willie Mays Hayes thing. Stop.
Oh, come on, man! Major League's a great movie.
No, I wrote a letter in 6th grade because we had to write a letter to a celebrity, and I grew up playing baseball. I wrote it to Charlie Sheen, to Wild Thing.
Oh, did you really?
I didn't know he was going to end up being a psycho.
Oh,
All right.
I'm trying to think of who would be Wild Thing.
today.
No, Charlie Sheen.
West Ham. No.
Oh, West Ham?
I'm gonna go. For me. You know what? Maybe it's like a Suchek, because if he doesn't bleed, we lose. But outside of that, my thing would be either Dawson or Sufal, because Sufal doesn't want to defend you; he wants to actually like bleed you out somehow. Yeah, it's just, but to where he doesn't get a card, so you never know.
I think Dawson is the Wild Thing. I do, because I think he's out of his head. I think he's got nothing to lose. The whole thing I love about Dawson is he's not even supposed to be there. He's a $2 million player. We signed him and forgot we signed him, and he sat for a long time. Didn't even got nowhere near the bench or anything. Was just a squad player for the longest time. Then he got forced into action because everybody got injured. And all of a sudden now he had some horrible games last season. He had 2 own goals in one game. But now he's the superstar everybody loves. He's not even supposed to be there. He's absolutely just living his best life. That's what I love.
First of all, the greatest gif in all of football ever in the history of mankind is him kicking that dude in the face. All right. Second of all,
Che Adams. That is
Che Adams.
Trey No Mo. All right. Like the fact that dude's still alive is insane to me, and the fact that Dawson didn't get a red is like, you know what? I respect your effort.
Best 10 moments of all time. He just like, I was going for the ball.
Oh, I use that regularly with my shithead Spud fans. I'm like, this is what I think of y'all. They don't like me very much. But yeah, you can imagine how much sleep I lose. But.
I don't have any friends who support Spurs that I know of.
Bro, it's Texas and it's Spurs. It's Spurs.
Right, I know, I get it.
I've been giving it to the Spurs and Chelsea fans I have all day. It's just been beautiful.
Phil, where are you?
Huh?
I'm in bed. Hello.
I said Phil.
Phil's in Chicago. Phil's in the south side of Chicago.
Yeah,
Chicago.
Come to Texas, and you and I can just beat the shit out of Spuds. There's 9 of them, but they're really loud.
That does sound about right. Actually, I do know a guy who supports Spurs. To be honest, he's a pretty good guy.
And you support Burnley. You can literally support that.
There we go.
And now I will say, not based off personal experience, the GIF is way better. But this still,
I know. But I don't want to get shut down. We've been shut down before for putting GIFs and videos on the show. I don't.
How he didn't get sent off from the planet is amazing to me.
Look at that! Look at where that foot is.
That's almost. I mean, if he scores a goal with the other guy's head, he doesn't even get credit.
It doesn't even. It's an own goal.
Is it the pin the other way, or
this is such a great. Well,
somehow you end up with a pin on the other side of the pitch because you kicked a dude's face into a ball that went like bottom front corner, and your keeper was a bitch. And now we have to make up for it. Be like, okay, you guys can have a pin. Oh, you know what? That would make more sense if it was Liverpool.
This is
yeah, because if it was Liverpool, obviously they'd get that.
It's just brilliant. Okay, who is that? You? Who is that? Who is that?
What do you mean? Who is it?
I can't see.
You look like a complete different person.
I'm like this looks like Travel Channel. Your house is haunted kind of shit.
Hello.
Hello.
See me?
Tom, you actually look like you look like a Balkan from this angle.
Tom, you are terrifying. Can you see yourself?
I can see you. Can you see me?
You look terrifying. Fuck you.
No,
do you have a flashlight under your chin?
Yeah,
is that what's going on?
Sorry, would you like? Hang on,
he's going to blur witch is what he's doing.
There we go. I'll get Rebecca to shine her light on me. There we go.
Oh, my God.
There we go.
That's better. The beard is coming in nice.
Do y'all have like a fucking power outage? What is this, Texas a year ago in the freeze?
This is. Hang on, that's doing me no favors. Let's go.
Not wearing a shirt.
Yeah,
I'm in we're all.
Look at that carpet on your chest.
This is Atherton after dark. This is Atherton after dark. This is like
Tommy A after dark.
This is going to get very.
Just laying in a pose.
What's going on, guys?
Hey. Inspired by Lisa Ann, baby.
Yeah, you missed the Lisa Ann.
Bye, Helen. Yeah, you missed the Lisa Ann. But look at this. This is.
I guess Google means you can't ever actually miss Lisa Ann, but you missed our Lisa Ann conversation.
Lisa Ann joke.
It's Playboy. It's Playboy Mansion. It's Playboy Mansion. Tom, what is Rebecca's shirt status? Can you answer that for us?
Rebecca she's shirted. She's in a West Ham.
She's in a Mark Noble kit.
Why do you look like Aladdin in a bad part of the movie?
I don't fucking know.
Scared the shit out of me, dog.
Dude, the darkness with the little dim on your face makes you look like a complete different person.
We're trying so hard to be happy tonight, okay? We're not being West Ham tonight. We're being happy. Okay?
Shine a light on Rebecca.
Awesome. Come on, you Irons, but now there's Jafar. We're fucked.
So, all right. So, Twom.
I just saw your message, and I was half asleep.
Well, thank you for dialing in.
But
good to have you as always. So, Tom, just share happy thoughts from today, will you? Just tell me something good, all right? Because it's a wonderful day.
Do you want happy ending thoughts with me whilst I'm here?
Whoa.
He's half naked. We might as well go all the way. There's Tom tonight dialing in to us here.
Maybe let's go. Maybe let's go hammer of the match and looking forward.
Yeah, man of the match, and then what are your thoughts on Eintracht?
Listen. Can you hear me? Okay, by the way.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, it's hard to hear you over the chest hair, but still, I can hear you.
Oh, listen, I've grown it out for the summer. I've got a lot of time to spend with my shirt off this summer. I tweeted it earlier. I think, rightly so. Rice and Bowen will get all of the plaudits this season, and again, rightly so. They've been absolutely fantastic. But for me, I think my hammer of the year has got to be Craig Dawson. I just think he's been absolutely outstanding.
I do too. I'm with you.
Ever since Ogbonna went down with injury, we kind of thought, oh no, we're going to get a shaky Craig Dawson this season, but he's not. He's been Mr. Consistent. He's led with just the most incredible. I can't find the words. I'm so tired. But he's been an incredible leader. He's been an incredible player. The goals, just everything about him. Having Diop come in there tonight looks so assured with him. It's just been a breath of fresh air. I think just to have someone who comes in not under a massive price tag. I said this with James earlier on his thing. Somebody that comes in and not exactly the highest reputation, but he's gone in and he's done what's been asked of him, and he's gone above and beyond.
Remember when we forgot we had signed him, Tom? When all of us forgot we had signed him, and we would sit here and talk about oh yeah, Craig Dawson. Who is that again? We forgot about him.
And the thing is, this is not basic opposition that he's embarrassing here. He is basically in back-to-back games destroyed two of the European favourites for this competition. These are all like 30, 40, 50 million pound players in Nesiri, Campos, and tonight with Toko Akambi and all that. He's just made him look silly. He's been nothing short of sensational for weeks now. And I do think that the likes of Rice and Bowen would deserve that award, but I think it would be easy to give the award to them, after the years they've had. And I think he's just he's proved a lot of people wrong, and I'm delighted for him more than anything. But my God, he was an absolute monster out there tonight.
We're delighted for us, not just for him, but for us. Good Lord,
Tom, go back again to the end of the first leg. He makes those two magnificent tackles. I mean, you could argue we're not even in this tie if he doesn't do that. I mean, if we give up another goal. I don't think
even in the first 20 minutes tonight. I know obviously Akambi hit the post in the first sort of 5 minutes, but then there was that other bit where it was sort of like a goal line scramble, and he basically put his body on the line, and the ball was smashed into his legs there. He just doesn't care. He just puts his head where it hurts. He doesn't care if he gets hurt when he does it. I've never seen somebody so sort of selfless in as much as putting the body on the line for the cause in quite some time for us, really. You don't often get that with West Ham centre halves, or you haven't, at least for quite some time. And I think he's one of them. And he's been a breath of fresh air. So yeah,
and I'll
absolutely
tell
10 out
you,
of 10 for me tonight.
And Tom, give us your thoughts on Issa Diop, who I thought came through. Listen, he came through. He came through, didn't he?
He did. I slated him last week, and again,
well, we all did. We all have all
so.
season.
He's
We've
exactly
2 years. Yeah.
Yeah. He deserved it for the criticism that he got, but again, I was a bit worried when he completely wiped out. Was it Dembele or Akambe for the yellow card? But then to basically just come back and again put his head on absolutely everything that came anywhere near him. Dealt with all the pressure really well. He was calm. He wasn't rash under pressure. He wasn't like against Brentford when he kept running out of position to step forward when the back line was stepping back. There's none of that tonight. You know, it was nice to see a performance of old from him as well. I mean, literally every single person out there tonight was not below a 7 or an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
It was just, and I know, and I said this with James at full time. I know a lot of people are upset again tonight, not in a bad way. It's tears of happiness, you know. People are, but I don't think people should be crying tonight because it felt like a one-off thing against Sevilla. But actually, like, hang on a minute, let's save those tears because we could be going all the way to the final. And you know, I feel like if we're getting upset every single time, it's almost like we're doubting ourselves, and then we're like, "Oh my god, we should believe in this team now." I genuinely think we have enough to win it.
Ahem. That's what I said.
Roy's been saying that all night long. To be fair, he has. But here's the thing for me, Tom, that really makes me stop and think about this. 3 games, okay? It was a little bit abstract after Sevilla, okay? But now. You get a draw and 2 victories in the next 3 games, and that's it. That's all we need.
Yeah,
that's it. I think so.
I think the main thing as well for us tonight was that you need to take away from it is, I think people were nervous about the second legs being away from home. That's completely gone now because we've just proven that we can win away and under pressure.
We had a disaster at home on Thursday of last week. By the way, Phil has to take off. I want to thank Phil as always for being with us, Southside. Lucas seems to have dropped off. I think between shirtless Tom.
Hi, Phil. Nice to see you, Phil.
It's good to see you, Phil. Thank you for being on. We'll do it again soon, okay? And good luck to the Black Fires and all the work you're doing with your kids there. All right, we appreciate it. All right. Between shirtless Tom Atherton and Lisa Ann, Lucas has dropped off completely. I don't know what happened to him. He's off in the ether. It's hard for us to resist, to be honest. But no, I mean. 3 games, Tom. That's what's crazy to me. Is it's just like Sevilla felt like we've accomplished something because we knocked out Sevilla, right? Because they own the competition. You know, they're Spanish. They're in second in La Liga. You know, big Spanish club this season anyway. This, on the other hand, feels like, wait a minute, we have Eintracht in either Leipzig or Rangers, and that's it.
Yeah.
3 more games, two wins and a draw, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's starting to feel touchable.
Yeah,
you know?
that's what I mean. I think, you know, and the tears again. I don't mind if people cry. Of course, I don't. You know,
I don't either. Let them feel whatever they want. Yeah,
exactly. But it's almost like, you know, in a good way, save those tears because I think, you know, when people are saying, "Oh, this is the greatest night," because I still think the greatest night to come, and I genuinely believe that we have enough to win it.
I do too.
I haven't felt that until tonight, but
it's the greatest night so far.
Tom, I didn't either. And Roy and I were talking about this earlier. You could make the argument that James.
I would actually advocate for something
James made a comment earlier
just because
that we were 80% of the way there in Europa League. Okay, do you mind, Roy, if you're not talking? Sorry, I'm getting a lot of your wife in the background there, Roy.
So I got you. Hold on.
Sorry. I'm sure she's lovely. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure she's lovely, but you know how it is, Tom. You got to keep those wives under control, right? That's very important. Anyway,
my apologies.
Tom knows. Tom is very strict with his woman, as we all know. Anyway, no, come on, I'm legit.
I'm not strict with my woman.
Well, so was I until I realized that she was from Chicago, and now I'm just scared. Yeah.
But we were, James mentioned earlier tonight. He was in the chat room. He said, the job in Europe is 80% done, and I know what he means, and he's not wrong.
Yeah,
just, you could argue that it's also 0% done. Because right now,
and like I said, my argument is that it's 10% done. because you have to get through.
Yeah.
90% is winning.
Right. And I think this has been a magnificent season already. And what I don't want to see is the meltdown if we don't get past Frankfurt or if we lose.
I think as well. I've said it for weeks. I said it with you. I've said it, for months. I always felt like David Moyes' time with us is going to get judged on this block of sort of, the 3-month period towards the end of the season. But now we're in this position. I feel like there's,
it's different.
Less of an incentive, not to go for the league, because I feel like we need to be doing that. But now I feel like we're in such a position that we can, in fact, win it. It's not let's go for either or, but we're in a good position now, is what I'd say.
I agree.
But it's okay to say, and not that we're throwing matches in the Premier League, but it's just it's actually fun. Like the reality is, and again, like in American sports, you either win a trophy or you don't, and there's only one trophy to win.
Right.
But in Premier League, that's what's so great. Europe, everything. There's hardware to put in the case, and I feel like you're not like, we didn't mean to lose to Brentford. Like, we were like, well, we'll just lose to Brentford. It was just
no, of course not. But I'll say this.
You have to start to prioritize what you're doing.
Tom, I want to get your thoughts on this too, because we talked about this earlier. I am at the point when we're 3 games out of this thing, I'm basically saying, like, play the under 12s against Burnley. I really don't care. We got to go for this in Europe. We got to go for it. You know what I mean? Up to now, it's kind of like, well, we have to hedge our bets. We have to hedge our bets. But now, the best we're going to do in the Premier League with 7 or 8 games left is getting back to Europa League 6th place, and that's going to be a little bit of an accomplishment. Okay, 7th is more likely. Let's be honest, and maybe even 8th. But we're 3 games away from Champions League. I say go for this thing, man. Go for it.
Yeah, I think
out.
I think what's weird is I can't excuse the Brentford game, because I know I've said this so many times that it pisses me off that
God bless you and thank you.
It's that you don't give your all on the weekend, but then expect to just come in and drop a performance like we did tonight. And listen, we dropped a good performance tonight, but that doesn't excuse what you put, you did on Sunday against Brentford. I don't think you should. Awful. It was probably the worst performance I've seen in quite some time with us. Yeah. But saying that again now after tonight, yes, I think it should be some of those players, they do deserve a bit of rest and rotation. I wouldn't be against seeing some of the younger guys, the Vlasic, the Benrahma, those that didn't play, basically, even if it meant Yarmolenko, etc. I don't mind resting and rotating, but as long as those that rest or have rotated into the squad give 110%, because I can't abide by people only giving 110% for the game that matters, because in actual fact, we're in such a position now in the league as well. Every game matters, and you have to take it as such.
Look, matches in hand, it doesn't matter. Matches in hand aren't points. So exactly. God bless you. And I get it. Brentford, it happened. I think what
I agree with here to both of you guys, if we're going to rotate the squad, I'm 100% for that. But I'm with Tom. I want to see the guys who come in play hard. Do you know what I mean? We did not play hard on Sunday. Nobody played hard. Nobody played well. I'm sorry, but they didn't. Even Rice was off.
That's the thing, because I think this is what pissed me off, was because tonight was not a given. So if you'd have gone in on tonight,
Brentford was shit,
and you'd have also dropped that performance against Brentford on Sunday, and then you would have lost tonight, everybody would have been going, but what the fuck? Right. Winning, that winning mentality, and breeds confidence. And I think I would have liked to have, because everybody after they saw that Brentford game would probably sat back and thought, oh, Jesus, I'm a bit worried now going into Thursday even. So it's, a little bit. little bit scary,
But
but
Good teams and good players get up for every single game, not just big games,
Exactly.
right? And that's on coaching, that's on training before you get to the match. It's all about focus. And it was clear there was no focus prior to that Brentford match. And I mean,
Brentford was
laser
brutal.
focus.
Brentford was brutal. That was just a brutal match. But I also understand, like, hey, we played Brentford, or and my biggest concern was Moyes saying we didn't have the legs for it. You know, it was just too much. It can't be too much. Now, and I get that it's no, and I get, like, if you actually add depth to your squad, it's not too much.
I know.
So,
Well,
but you can't tell me you can't tell me you can't tell me that it's too much when you didn't add any depth to your squad at all.
I know. Listen. It's always going to be an issue. It'll never not be an issue. By the way, Scott had to go. I want to thank Scott for being with us again. Always good to have Scott with us.
Greatest onesie in the history of mankind.
His jumpsuit was magnificent. I don't know if you could see it. Tommy had a West Ham jumpsuit on. It was fantastic. All right, I'm seriously going for like 5 more minutes. No joke. Then I got to get up with the boys tomorrow, and we're going to do like stuff in the city. No, it's true. It's true. It's true. This was an exceptional, like, just jumping on show. I mean,
I just like screwing with you, bud.
But here's the thing. So as I've said before, as we've all talked about, strengthen in January. If you get the right players, it works. If you don't, if you sign a bunch of crawls, it doesn't. And it doesn't matter whether you signed them or not. If they can't step in and effectively rotate into the squad. So
here, you know what? Let me put in my let me put in my 2 cents before the guy that actually understands football. It's okay to be picky.
Yes.
But there comes a point where you're like, well, he's not really. Shut up. At some point, you have to understand the fact that you need quality depth, and not like the crawls or the Vlasics, but
you got to write the check.
If you can identify at least one quality depth player in all of that time,
I tend to agree, Roy. I do.
Then there's like a scouting problem, and that's my thing. It's maybe it's scouting. Like, and I like.
Hell yeah, that's why Robert.
I win. It's what I do. Yeah, thanks, David Moyes. But I would like to. I sign players that are worth a shit. That's what I do. I'd rather hear that.
I mean, but let me just say this.
Why'd you think the goddamn Patriots were so good? Yeah, Robert Kraft knew that he needed a Tom Brady for his Drew Bledsoe. You know,
dude, are you doing an American accent?
Well, I was trying to do an American accent.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, look, that was. I actually thought that was Lee talking.
That was solid. I thought that was a radio in the background or something. I was like, who is listening to the radio?
Oh no, I'm not trying to do a break. I'm fucking. Look, I'm David Moyes. I win. That's what I do.
But you have to look. How can you not give? I mean, as I've said many times, you know his faults, you know his flaws, but this man has taken us.
Greatest comeback story in Premier League, much less West Ham.
This guy, they didn't even want him. They brought him in because he was available and cheap.
We didn't want him. Let's talk about we.
I actually wanted him to come back after that. I did.
To me, I was like, fuck. I mean, Moyes, sure, I guess.
No. I would have had him back after he kicked us up the first time. But
I was a coin flip. To me, it was a coin flip. Like, yo, no.
Oh, we're getting a big echo. I can hear myself. Larry, you there?
Yeah, I'm trying to connect right now. I have an issue right here. So.
Oh, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
That's better. Yeah, that's much better. I'm just saying, if listen, the guy's done a tremendous job, and we know he's not perfect. But if you think these owners could go out and find somebody better, you don't know these owners. They're not going to do that. They've never done that. Their track record is atrocious. They stumbled into a great manager who is in a great situation at a great time. That's all there is to it.
But if David Moyes is going to keep talking about the players that he needs /wants that can only improve the squad, there's blame to go around, and I love
I
David
agree.
Moyes.
I have thought that for a long time, and we've said that. Yes, of course, there's blame to go around. It's just not all on him, okay? Because David Sullivan writes the check.
Oh no,
or doesn't.
oh no, it's not all on him, and I was probably being honestly, it's probably like 30-40% on him. He's like, I want this guy.
That's what I think. Yeah.
And Wiener owners are like, well, I can't afford that.
It's not a Will Salthouse client, so I'm not going to sign him. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, I'm at this point. What I don't want to see is the inevitable meltdown if we don't win Europa League, and we might not. It's going to be still a very difficult road to go through Frankfurt. We have the home leg first. That's not good. Who knows?
Larry, have you got your finger over the camera lens again?
Is that right? I'm trying to figure it out. I know I'm sitting on my couch and I'm screwing up. Tom, thank you for making me so embarrassed. I'm trying to find out.
I reckon. I reckon.
In the meantime, I will straight up say, thank God we got Frankfurt, not Barcelona.
I don't know what the camera's doing here.
I mean,
I don't know. People are thinking.
Yeah, I know Frankfurt beat Barcelona. Don't care.
We said, no, hang on, but Roy, they went into the Nou Camp and scored 3 goals. It's not easy to do. I care who there 98,000 people in that stadium. They scored 3 goals. In a European knockout match. That is not easy to do.
Okay, I'm sorry. What's crazy though is what you seem to be forgetting is like this self-loathing part of being a West Ham fan is
I remember that very well. I'm not forgetting that at all.
Yeah, we beat Sevilla, who, by the way, is like the Europa champion on the planet.
I know. I'm with you.
I don't give a shit about Frankfurt.
I do think
I'm not saying we're gonna run away with it, but I would rather play Frankfurt than Barcelona.
Well,
and if you can't say that, then that's insane to me.
No, I can say that. I do feel that way. I just don't think it's going to be as easy as it sounds. What do you think, Tom, about Frankfurt?
Yeah. Sorry, you've made Rebecca laugh. With the Frankfurt.
Frankfurt. Franks and beans.
Frankfurter. Yes.
Yeah, that is good. Yeah, that is not bad.
That is good. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna get. I'm gonna get in trouble, so I'm stopping.
Okay,
I'm not. I'm good.
Yeah, I think beware the underdog. I think almost. It's.
Yes.
If one thing is football has told me in my 26 years is you never doubt the underdog. I think that's why they've done so well. They've got a well-coached team. They've got some good young players. They've got a talisman in Kostic, good centre-back, young centre-back in Dicker, who will be missing in the first leg, suspended. Good wing-backs. I think it basically they've done so well because their atmosphere at home has been incredible, and I think they do feel like they have that underdog mentality. I almost feel like playing Barca felt like they should have won. I think that probably showed in their performance. I watched the highlights tonight. Frankfurt absolutely dominated them at times. And I think they'll go in with that same chip on their shoulder against us, and you need to, not go in.
Frankfurt was quality.
No,
yeah,
and
I think if you get too ahead of yourself, you're only going to set yourselves up for a failure. It's going to be a lot tougher than what people are assuming.
I think it's going to be an absolute dogfight.
With you on this.
But to me, aren't we always kind of the underdogs in everything always?
Basically, yeah. I mean, basically, I that is the thing is, Barca, I think one of the things about Barca is I do feel as though they might have felt as though this competition was a little below them. They're a Champions League club season,
which is insane.
Right. But I mean, I think Barca may have been a little, but you have to give Frankfurt credit. I mean, that's a huge scalp they just took, a gigantic scalp. It just is, and there's no way around it.
They're probably, I would say, probably in terms of style of play, is probably the best matchup that we've faced so far in the competition. In terms of similar styles of play, in terms of physicality of players, I think this is and it's difficult when you're playing against teams that are very. I think with Lyon it was different because they played with such high attacking fullbacks that it almost allowed us to be able to get in behind. With Sevilla, they tried to play expansive football. It fell into our hands, but I think Frankfurt being the underdog in most of their games, have played on the counter attack themselves. So actually, it's going to be interesting to see when we meet who will be the dominant team. I think it will be us, but will that play into our hands or will it play into their hands?
Doesn't. It usually doesn't. That's not what we like to play.
We play better off the back foot.
Yeah,
right. But let's be honest. We all wanted Barcelona because the name of that matchup, right? And Frankfurt Frankfurt's nothing to sneeze at. Like, I'm not saying Frankfurt's a walkover.
No, of course not.
But
Eintracht
Frankfurt. Yeah, Eintracht Frankfurt. Yeah,
there's got to be multiple clubs in Frankfurt, so they're not the
only. It's Eintracht Frankfurt. Yeah. But the reality is, if you really had to pick, if you had your pick of the two to play in Europa, you'd be insane to say you would rather play Barcelona.
I mean, I generally agree. I do. The only thing is, I mean, what Tom was saying makes sense. We don't generally do well against other counterattacking clubs. It's better if they just come after us and we hit them on the counter. You look at when we have to play a counterattacking club, we very often struggle. You kind of saw it against Brentford in a way, and it was a bad effort. But I mean, at the same time, that's what they do. They play on the counter. They slaughtered Chelsea on the counter 2 weeks ago. They were absolutely just ravenous, you know.
But again, this is a different world. Like, what if we played Brentford and it was two legs?
The other argument that I keep remembering or trying to remember is there is not a team left in this competition that is any better than the clubs we face on a regular basis in the Premier League.
I think Leipzig are a different animal.
Better, well, but what I'm saying, I'm not comparing them to Watford or Norwich. I'm talking about we play Chelsea, Manchester United, Manchester City, Liverpool, Tottenham, Arsenal, Wolves, even, you know, every season, twice a season. There's not a single club left, even Leipzig, Frankfurt, Rangers, whoever it's going to be, who are any better than that. All right, not better. They're not better.
I'm telling you now, if that Rangers, if that is the final,
Rangers, West Ham, I quit.
That's going to be carnage.
That is a bloodbath on a different level. That is going to be wild.
I kind of hope it doesn't happen, to be honest.
They'll either make movies or a documentary out of it. One or the other.
Oh, it's going to be, I mean.
Or both.
I fear, like I said, I think people will overlook Frankfurt. Yes, obviously, out of the two teams, would you rather face between the two? On paper, probably yes, it would be Frankfurt. Yeah. But I think their style of play is going to cause us a problem because, as I've said, I think us sitting on the back foot benefits us so much. But I think Frankfurt also are going to want to do that. So it could lead to them being a good, effective counter-attacking team against us because I think we probably should dominate possession against them. So
and we don't like to dominate possession.
Yeah, I was going to say, which every hammer is like, shit, we have the ball. What's about to go wrong?
Our time of possession is always bad. So, Tom, Frankfurt, it always caught me off. I'm sorry, I missed a couple of minutes of the conversation, but Frankfurt is.
I don't know about that, Frankie.
Are they that solid? I mean, they got to be to go to Barcelona and win the victory, and we're so acceptable that we don't have time of possession. We don't take time of possession.
Well, no, I think we like to control the ball about 35% of the time. You know,
if we're lucky,
that's where we're.
But I think for us as well, especially for them, I think they're not going to play at all like what Lyon did, which was bop the ball around outside our 18-yard box for 60 minutes, especially in the first leg and stuff. Like they're going to be very much counter-attack with pace and precision with Kostic, who just is on fire right now. They got another guy, a Japanese fella, Kamada, I think it is. He's quite old, but plays exceptionally well for them. If you have a chance, you have to see the strike that Borre hit tonight for them from like 30 yards into the top left-hand corner. They're just a very good side.
Well, they wouldn't be here. By the way, I know that Roy had to go. We want to thank Roy for being here. Good fellow Texan who actually, no, he's back. He said he was leaving, and now he's back. He did the Irish goodbye, but then he's making like a wrestling style entrance. Anyway, Tom, they wouldn't be here if they weren't.
No,
I mean, right? They wouldn't be here. Roy, are you staying with us? Are you staying or are you going?
I was here. I gotta go.
All right. Hey, thanks for being with us, man. It was really good.
All right.
Appreciate you being on.
Go on your irons.
All right, we'll talk to you
Go on
soon.
your irons.
Yeah, I mean they wouldn't.
No.
Again, you just don't just walk into the Noy camp and score 3 goals.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
With
No,
98,000 people.
exactly, Lee. That's what I was saying. Exactly. For us to do something that we did today, I mean, it was awesome. And it shows you the potential we have when we're on our game. But the problem we have is that we can't, the guys can't sustain that 2 days a week, you know?
No, well, I mean, that's the thing is
Yes,
let's
sir.
be honest, Tom. I mean, do you see any way we don't lose to Burnley? I mean, realistically,
I've already said this 2 or 3 times. Again, I said this after, I think I was on with you, and I said after the Sevilla game, I said the worst team to play at the time was Spurs. After the Lyon game last week, I said it was the worst time to play a team like Brentford because of the intensity they'll play. And this is the worst time to play a team like Burnley, who have everything to fight for, are strong, are physical, and are completely going to dominate us because we're going to be very tired. And
They're a
David Moyes will
wounded
likely
animal.
play the same
And I
team.
agree.
Yes.
But Tom and I thought about this going to the game on Sunday. Brentford is a good team now. And if you look at what they came in against Chelsea, they're not playing any games during the week, and all that. That's a quality squad we had to play. So, and at the end of the match, I was disappointed. But I think back now that that was a tough match to have right there.
We knew it was last week, Larry. We talked
Yes,
about it
sir.
on the show.
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, never. I was very optimistic and thinking we could get out of there with a draw.
Yeah.
And we didn't. And
I said
our performance was
respect
terrible.
the point. I think the same thing goes with tomorrow. Respect the point because, again, the reason that Brentford were better than us is because they're a bit of a loose cannon. They play at a very high intensity. Yeah. And as I said last week, I didn't think we were going to be willing to match that intensity. And I even said to you on here, Lee, I thought it would be 3-1, didn't I?
Yeah.
So
you did.
I
heard it. Yeah.
I did think we'd lose. So I just
right.
think the same thing applies this week, not in terms of intensity, but in terms of what's the worst team that you could play after a tough, long game is probably against a very physical side, and that's exactly what Burnley. I mean, Dawson and Diop, bless their souls, have played so well the other day, and now they've got to deal with 6'7" Wout Weghorst running through them. It's going to be a tough game.
Listen, you know as well as I do, both of you know, because we've supported West Ham for long enough. There is no motivation like the motivation of trying to stay up. Yeah. I don't care which trophies you're talking about. There is nothing is more motivating than staying in the Premier League because
relegation
as a player, if you go down, everything changes. You're probably leaving the club. You may or may not stay in the Premier League. Who knows? You know what I mean?
Your cost, you're right. Their money's not your value's weaker.
That's what I'm saying. Some of those guys, other Premier League clubs will pick them up, right? Because they're good players. Other ones, who knows? So the motivation is extremely strong. Nobody wants to be part of a relegation club. I'm a relegation side. It's just humiliating. We've all been there. We know. So they're going to have a gigantic amount of motivation. I have a really hard time imagining that we're going to be able to match their intensity. It just doesn't seem likely.
No.
Unless
he rotates,
trying to be negative.
in which case, if he rotates, I think we can. But if he doesn't rotate, I think we'll struggle to match that. Especially after
he hasn't. Yeah, I would like for him to rotate. I'd like to see.
I think he has to. Benrahma, Yarmolenko, Vlasic, basically I'd say 6 or 7 guys have got to come in just to give them a break because otherwise he's going to get, especially a centre half. We're going to start they're going to start falling like flies. It's got to happen otherwise.
Benrahma, Yarmolenko,
Tom, you're
Vlasic.
exactly right, my friend. Tom's point on is that I think we need to rest a little. And it sounds crazy, but we need to take care of Diop and Dawson. So who do we put in there? We have to risk, I guess, Crow in one of them spots.
Well, Crow, I mean, he's not.
He was a center back, like we talked. You said it earlier. He was a center back in his day. Do we do it until he fails?
I'm not sure.
I'd give Dawson. Give Dawson the rest. He deserves it. I'd put Diop in with Elise or something.
Yeah,
I think
that's a tall ask for Elise.
Yeah.
I mean, but Elise's look good against reasonable competition.
Again,
that's all we got.
It's very different very different when we're playing, and I'm sure this will probably be the first time that Larry's seen Wout Weghorst.
But it would be. It actually would be
6'7" of just pure just aggression and pressing. I think he had the most presses when he moved to Burnley. He had the most presses out of anybody in Europe's top 5 leagues in terms of like pressing the goalkeeper.
Is that
and he's
right?
like he's an absolute unit who's going to put himself about. So yeah, if Elise is playing, it will be difficult. He's a very technically gifted big guy. So
yeah,
I would, Burnley are so bizarre right now. I mean, they got that huge win over Everton. They went out and lost to Norwich. I mean, that is relegation form type stuff, frankly. And
Lee, you said, I'm sorry, Lee, I had to
Yeah.
interrupt you. You said it's a big win against Everton, maybe a couple years ago, but not this year.
Well, but no, but in the
No, I
for
got you.
them
I'm
in the relegation battle, it was for them. Is what
No,
I mean.
I know. I say in jest.
Oh no, I understand. But I mean, they had lost 3 on the bounce coming in. They beat Everton. They got a gigantic win, and then they lost to Norwich, which is just inexcusable in their position.
Yeah.
They're in a lot of trouble. They're 4 points behind Everton. There's 8 matches left. They're Watford's on their heels, believe it or not.
Really?
A little bit. Well, they're 2 points, but now Watford have played an extra match, but they're only 2 points behind. It's not. I mean, they are going to be desperate, and desperate is not
hungry is a hungry wolf. Yeah, like
a wounded animal is the most dangerous thing
that
you can encounter. You know what I mean? You know how that goes.
now tell me about it. Rebecca is the worst.
I know she is. I know she's hungry. She's hungry like the wolf.
Oh, she's gonna be chapping.
She's hungry like the wolf, and she's gonna get in there with that. She's gonna get in there with a lot. She's gonna get in there with
yourself.
Get in there with a lawnmower.
She's already next to him. I can see that.
She's gonna take a lawnmower to that chest hair. That's what's gonna happen.
Unless Tom has fingernails or something like that. I think that was Rebecca.
That is my it's my lovely dainty fingers. They're definitely
Well, Tom, we knew you had dainty fingers. So besides that, I thought it was Rebecca.
Look at my dainty fingers. They're so dainty. They're so dainty.
So let me see. So schedules in terms of.
I'm gonna have to go in a second, Lee, because I'm getting very.
You know what?
Tired.
We all need to go in a second.
Yeah, it's fine. I appreciate having me on.
Oh, Larry, it's good to have you on. So the Frankfurt game, April 28th. That's not the first one, is it?
Yes.
It's the home match.
May the 5th is.
May 5th.
Oh, so we got 2 weeks before we play the next round.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't realize that. I thought it was.
How close will that be to Zuma being back? Because it's 4 weeks. 1 week now.
Could
he make the second match?
If we
if he's ahead of schedule, yeah.
If he's ahead of schedule, yeah.
Well, they said 4 weeks, right? So it's 1 week down. That'd be really close, yeah. I'm just curious.
It's close, but you know what? Issa came through for us, and we have.
Well, we got to do it. No, I'm not. I'm just.
It's a victory.
We have to have faith. All right. I gotta go. I need to go. I wanna thank everybody who's been in the chat room. Fantastic chat room as always. We had some Lyon fans here. I hope I wasn't too mean to them.
Oh no, fuck Leon.
Well, because as I said some things about being. I said some things about being
battered even at home.
I was talking about San Etienne. I was talking about San Etienne and how I've been a San Etienne fan for 20-something years and how
Liam, me and you the only two that haven't drunk or something this evening. I'm stone cold sober, and everybody else.
I had a Green State Lager, Tom, about 2 hours ago when we started, and other than that, I have nothing, and I'm very sober. Anyway, so I wanted. So who'd we have? We had Phil, we had Scott, we had Roy, of course. You always know when Roy's around. We had Lucas.
Yes,
we had Lucas on for quite a while. Larry here with us, and Tom checking in here at the end, and a fantastic chat room group. No predictions tonight for any upcoming matches. Just don't feel like doing it. We'll do another show as soon as we can. I think Lucas and Kostya and Alan Rozepa might be doing a show tomorrow, so you guys keep on the lookout for that. Okay?
I'll give you my prediction for Burnley. It will be 2-2.
Okay, I'll take it. Honestly,
I'll take 2-2.
That's fine. That's fine.
I think that's right.
We will definitely be on before the next
Cheeky
Frankfurt match,
Desmond,
since it's 2 weeks away. So, in the meantime,
Lee,
let's be happy.
Cheeky Desmond.
Hey Lee. Hey Lee, thanks a lot, buddy. I appreciate everything.
Anytime, Larry.
Lee, I'm just gonna keep speaking over and interrupting you.
That's fine.
Hey,
That's what we all do
too.
anyway. Ken, Neil, everybody who was here, y'all are all massive. Appreciate you being
Everybody.
here. And until next time,
Come on, you Irons.
Yeah.